and welcome to Q&A Thursday right here on the Rag Company Q&A channel. Just kidding, it's the podcast channel. But anyway, I've got Levi Gates to my right.
Hey, Dane, what's going on?
Hey, I'm Dane Hennon, and to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Dane, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Happy Thursday to everyone.
Of course, happy Thursday to all y'all. Now,
Nothing like a good Friday Eve.
I conducted a little experiment today.
Okay.
It was actually by way of negligence. I did not promote the show today like
What?
I normally do.
What?
Every single Thursday. I put out word in all the forums and all the Facebook pages I could find. I do all that stuff. Unfortunately, or fortunately, today...
Dane, you had
I
one job.
I had
One job.
No, I actually had many jobs today. I had many responsibilities. I'm helping create the sizzle reel for PNS's SEMA booth. We're doing some other things. I got stuff going on.
All right.
That took my time today. However,
That's all
this
right.
is a test
Makes
to see
sense.
if my
Okay.
promotion even does anything.
Dane,
so,
do you know this show has only been on for 5 years?
Yeah.
Every Thursday at 2 o'clock?
Yeah.
How are people going to know
They
that
really,
this is what they need to be
really
doing?
need to be paying attention
for a long
because
time.
Without you promoting it.
blink and you'll miss it. That's
All
my
over the
my
interwebs.
experiment. I want to know if it actually worked or not. So anyway, if you're here, you got the memo. Obviously, numbers are down, but we'll see how it works
Okay,
in
well,
due time.
try it
You
out.
guys, I'm asking you now, the listeners, the viewers, if you could share with your respective groups, people you know, tell them about the show.
put
That's
it
what
on
I'm
the
asking of you.
listeners.
Also, that's right. Yes,
call to
I'm-
action.
I'm deferring. I am delegating action.
All right.
So thank you to everybody who's watching and listening right now. Also, please click the like button since you're already here. You know, because
Love
you
it.
like watching it so much. Anyway, moving along. There's housekeeping. There's all kinds of fun stuff to talk about today.
Dane, how are you enjoying those Brooks Adrenaline GTSs?
I quite like them. They're a little stiffer than my other
Yeah.
shoes, but they
But
got
you
a
noticed your
lightweight
feet,
feel.
they may have hurt for maybe the first part of the morning,
Yeah.
and then they
Just for a
kind
little
of got used to it, right?
Yeah,
That's how.
because I'm used to the glycerin. The glycerin is just
A lot of
cushy
cush.
cloud, just really, you float on them. But with these, they're more performance oriented. It's a little more rigid. It's like a stiff suspension in a sports car.
Yeah.
So it's
like
just
that.
having that
giving you a
kind
little
of
more
rigidity.
control in the apex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like hitting dynamic mode.
Yeah.
You know what
but,
I'm saying?
you know, I'm not rolling my ankles because I don't have a ton of sidewall.
Well, you got those guide rails,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's like bowling with the lane protectors
Yeah,
for the so you know
it's-
gutter balls.
It's like rolling on some firm low
see that.
pros, you know?
I like that.
Anyway.
Like that indeed. Okay,
Apart
well,
from
and yeah, I mean,
Anthony, you're rocking your Ghost 15s.
I am rocking my Ghost 15s today, which is always
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god, always
right at the
comfortable
bottom there,
with the
Yeah,
camo
that looked
on
really
there.
comfortable.
I do have my Auroras, and that I actually decided that I'm going to be waiting.
The
until
Aurora BLs are like the Maybach.
So I'm wearing them for SEMA.
Yeah.
They're not my SEMA shoe, but they're my SEMA walking
What?
around
You guys
shoe.
wearing the same shirt
I know,
today?
it worked out that day. I saw a comment
almost
that's like,
grabbed that out of
Andy
mine.
wearing
Why
the
didn't we
starter
all
shirt,
wear
and I'm
them?
like, actually, I did too, without even like meaning to. I didn't ask him what he was going to wear
No, I
today. It just
seriously
worked
almost
out
wore that
way.
one too today.
Bunch of
That's
nerds.
hilarious.
So no, but I'm probably gonna save
Yeah.
those for there,
Okay.
just because
Yeah.
it's such a there's so much walking involved, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just rocking the Ghost 12s today. Still a lot of snap off the line, plenty of grip for when I'm wanting to take a couple seconds off my reaction time, I should
Yeah,
say.
right. Well, you need
On
to.
the green
It's called
light.
the whole shot.
Yeah.
That's what they
I stopped
call it.
red lighting after I switched to wearing Brooks, and
Yeah.
since then it's been a
Well,
pretty
I'm-
impressive thing.
I'm rocking these new Cascadia. This is an old model, 16s.
Yeah.
And these are
Seahawks colors.
These are like the Porsche Cayenne, but in the off-road trim,
Okay.
an Overlander
So
style.
it's an Overlander Cayenne.
Still got a lot of the performance because it's basically the adrenaline. So I'm still got that feel in the corners. I got they got the tight suspension.
Yeah.
But I have the grip and the traction. If I need to go into off the beaten path into the off-road, I can do it.
So you can be sporty in the boonies.
Now,
Exactly.
keep in mind,
Now-
everyone, we're not really doing anything in these shoes other than just walking through the office. But
Getting in and out
It's
of
a
our
treacherous
cars.
office, let me
We
tell
Getting
you.
in and out of our cars. That's about it.
we do like knowing that there is the option to take these to the next level.
I
right?
just know that I could.
Yeah.
I could.
That's all that matters.
We like to say we're the three
I won't,
slowest
but I
sponsored
could.
athletes at Brooks Run.
Yeah, something like that. So, as far as housekeeping this
The
week,
slowest.
it is Thursday. We're coming up on the end of the first week of October now, which is exciting and also sad because I feel like this month is another month that flies by way
Yeah,
too quickly.
it does.
And I have not done anything festive for Halloween yet.
Oh.
No
right?
spooky?
You haven't?
No, not
spooky
yet.
season?
Not yet.
Have you decorated?
Not yet.
Are you allowed to decorate?
My wife, she likes things that are white and green usually, and
So there's
black
a.
and
So I will
black
tell you
and
this: there's a
orange
Michaels.
doesn't fall into that.
So
color
there's
palette.
so Michaels has a Halloween decor that I noticed when I was there doing some Halloween decor shopping with my family a month ago. Mm-hmm. Right when we were supposed to be putting up
Modern
all our Halloween
farmhouse.
stuff. No,
Halloween.
it's more of a chic, more pastel, brighter, lighter Halloween. She might go for that kind of
So
stuff.
it's like Halloween meets Easter.
It's skulls, but they're like purple and lavender, and they're skulls that are more white and farmhouse looking.
No, I like the tackiness. So I guess what I'm trying to say back to the housekeeping
You would
thing
love
is,
my house. You need to
is
come
that
over and hang out.
We're a week in so far,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
the bad news is that, and I personally haven't done anything, but the good news
You
is
should
that
just decorate
we
your
are.
office and Halloween stuff. You got signs. And
The good news is that we are coming up on a very special Halloween season here at the Rag Company.
It's our favorite
where
time of the
we
year.
do have our video production that is almost finished, almost complete at this time.
As a matter of fact, we should probably ask Glenn to decorate the studio so we can just get into the festivities
I would
over
like
the next
that. I
couple
actually
weeks.
would like that a little early this
Yeah.
year. Normally, like we decorate like the day before or like the week
but
before.
I think it just bring a little spookiness into the
Sure.
vibe and
Why
get us
not?
into the Halloween spirit a lot earlier.
Whatever happened to the orb?
It's sitting on my. It's on the desk
yeah.
between you and me.
What did we say? It was something Otherworld Dane.
It's
Well,
Crystal
I
Ball
was
Dane.
trapped in there
Crystal
for a
Ball
little
Dane.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I got
sitting on the
out.
desk in between us.
Yeah, it was just a floating head for
I
a whole
got better.
episode. Yeah. But our festivities will be starting shortly, so make sure you're signed up for the newsletter at theragcompany.com so you're the first to know of any new and exciting potential clothing drops, any new potential sticker drops, any new potential sales of any sort.
All the good stuff.
I don't think
Interpret
that,
potential as
like it's probably
it's
probably
probably yes.
going to happen. Like we're already too far into this. It's probably
we
it's
are
definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
But we have that going on, and then this week we do have Justin Pate coming back into town. We're gonna be shooting some videos with him, so that's exciting. And I'm
We
trying
do
to
have
think.
there is an Avery Dennison training class for those of you that are wondering.
Oh, yes.
I believe it's happening the 19th and the 20th, the Thursday and Friday here at the Rag Company. And you can come take the class. It's, I believe, $1,100 for the class, but you do get a
free roll. Of
you do get a free roll of vinyl and pretty much all the tools you'll need, short of a heat gun.
No, it's
and a stool.
excellent deal when you
to
factor
wrap
it
a
all
car.
together.
Yeah, you'll be jumping into it.
Yeah,
Now,
you'll be
these
able
are
to get right into
things
it.
That'll appear on the event calendar.
Once the new website is developed, we will have that. We've been saying it for months, but it's done. It's just as soon as we finished it, we went into full reconstruction of the website, and it was like, let's just hold off until then. So, but you guys can go to if you literally just Google Avery Dennison training, it'll take you right to the training page. It'll show you. You can click color change training. It'll pull it up, show you that the Boise location at the Rag Company coming up in October. Please sign up today.
All right.
Yeah.
Our own John Francie, who does a Sticker Mafia, who's the hat I'm wearing today, he signed up. He's going to take the 2-day class, and he's going to take the certification class.
That's
Nice.
fun.
To
to get certified by Avery and be an Avery Dennison certified installer.
No, that's excellent.
Cool. Outside of that, we do have the Rag Company storefront.
Oh,
Yeah.
coming
Also-
along.
People have been waiting
our
years.
our collaboration with MVP
Yes.
distributing here in Boise. Our storefront is
Taking
almost,
shape.
It's almost there. Right?
Couple weeks away.
We're about 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we're looking to have at the moment, tentatively, couple weeks, little soft grand opening on a Saturday. Kind of hanging out, having people come over, check it out,
Chilling.
and enjoy what we have to offer. We will be letting you guys know as soon as it gets more locked in, but that's what we're shooting for at the moment because we think once we get the shelving, it'll go up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
it's not
been a matter of
fully
days.
assembled yet.
Yeah, right now we're just waiting on the shelving to arrive, and it was supposed to arrive 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
that's where we're at.
So
look forward
it's
to
going to
it.
be a place where you can literally buy all of the Rag Company stuff that we would have here in the store.
In person.
But in person. On top of that, it's also going to be stuff that MVP Distributing also sells as well. So there's going to be stuff that maybe we don't sell that they're going to have, which is also really cool too. So if you're ever local and you want to stop by there, that is coming soon. So I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping.
Maybe you're in town for the rep training, and maybe you want to stay an extra day to come to that. You can do that too. Who knows?
Whatever you're into.
You never know. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's all there is to it. Please stay tuned, because once we do have a date for that, obviously we will be sending that probably as an email blast to let folks know. We will be talking about on the podcast, like, hey, here's the store's open. Come on down, take a look, buy some stuff, see what you think. So make sure you're signed up for the newsletter.
All right, bring on the comments.
Anthony, what are you guys drinking?
Oh, right.
You didn't get I was told to bring a canned beverage.
Yeah.
For today's Q&A, and so I picked the newly rebranded Pepsi Zero.
Wow, that's
look
fun.
at that new logo.
Looking sharp, looking stealth.
So a friend of mine brought me this. I saw him drinking it the other day, and I said, hey, what's that? And he goes, it's a Waterloo. And I go, a water who? And he goes, a Waterloo. Okay. I said, I don't know what that is. And he's like, it's kind of like a sparkling water, but like with more flavor. And I said, okay, so like a
liquid death.
Like a LaCroix or like a liquid death or whatever it is. And he goes, no, it's like more intense than that. And I go, like it's sweeter? And he goes, no. I'm like, well, is it
more
like
flavor, more bubbles?
Is it like an ice drink, right? You like the flavor. And he goes, no, it's not that level of flavor.
Sparkling ice has more flavor,
but it's just more intense. So he brought me this today, and I took a sip out of it just a few moments ago, and I said, oh wow, or oh woo for Waterloo. I should say.
You can't say that with a straight face.
Because this doesn't, like, basically, like if a LaCroix is like you take a sip and somebody like whispers like
bananas,
mango, right? Like you're like, what did you say? Did you say?
Speak up a little.
Did you say mango? Like I think I'm tasting what I think you just said, but I'm not sure. A Waterloo. Or like a Waterwoo, right, is definitely
more like a person shouting in your ear.
Yeah, it's somebody like saying like, hey, that's spiced apple. And I'm like, hey, that tastes like spiced apple, right?
Okay.
But no sweetness, right?
All right.
So
aftertaste is just all water.
I don't know how they're extracting, like, you know what I'm saying? Because
you're making me thirsty.
Because
it's
so
thirsty, I want to take a sip of mine.
Because like it
Pepsi
smells
Zero.
like it. It tastes like it, but without the sweetness. And so I guess what I've learned here
I'm
is
also enjoying a soda without the sweetness.
with a Waterloo, you don't have to have the sweetness to be able to enjoy that full flavor that you would have. And
mine also tastes like water when I finish drinking it.
I'm going to be stopping at maybe a Costco here later on this week and picking me up some Waterloos, man. That's right.
Nice.
Somehow he
Dane,
managed to turn everything into a sales pitch. I just brought him that because I thought he asked me yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'll let you try one. That's okay.
I'm building this whole story.
I just blow it up.
Needless to say,
anyway,
that's what we do.
I was not making a thing out of it.
I don't know who makes Waterloo, but I've never heard of it.
Read it on the side.
Well, I never heard of him previously.
Who bottled it, who made it, manufactured. That's the beauty of a label.
It says like Whole 3 approved. I don't know.
Costco just randomly brings things in sometimes.
I've seen them in Albertsons. I've seen them in Albertsons.
But when I see a brand like this, I think the chance of a sponsorship may be good.
He turns everything into a sales pitch, even if it's
still
not.
has us on as their death bringers, whatever you want to call it.
We're death dealers.
Death dealers, but I'm thinking the Waterhoos might be the Waterloos.
Now bring on the comments.
Dan Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Oh, Vando is the first.
Wait a second.
What?
I have Dan here.
Dan's the first. This is a travesty.
I'm sending it, but it is not changing.
Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and word up from a beautiful fall day in Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang. Let's get it on.
That's what I like that.
And then Darren popping in saying, hello, you beautiful lot.
I also
What's
said
up,
that.
Darren?
It is not
How
changing.
you doing, man? And then Hans Closen popping in to say, hello, and Stroop Waffles out, people.
Yep.
And then Dan and Hans saying hello to each other. Superado saying not first, but before Umberto. Good work. And then Brilliant Detail. Hey, guys, what's been your favorite way to apply and wipe off Defender? What applicators or towels have you been using? Honestly, dude, I've been using 365s, and it's been perfect. It's just exactly what it needs to be.
365 or even one of the Pro Eves work great.
Yeah, both of them are just
Yeah.
Splendid.
They will clog an FTW. Like it's 100% guaranteed. So you might not want to use an FTW with them, but
it'll work. But I would do like Anthony.
365 or Pro. They seem to wash out better. We got Detail Vault says, hello everybody, greetings from the UK.
Greetings,
and
welcome.
We got that smash that like button from Super Auto. Greetings from a damp Louisiana. Demo.
Demo.
I want. I've been thinking about this.
Hey, there's working. Thank you.
What is a fall like in the true deep south? Like, what is a actual fall weather like? Because I went there during the winter one year, loved it, thought that was still pretty nice, despite it being a bit rainy.
I have no idea. I have no frame of reference.
Never been there during the summer. Never been there during the spring.
I assume that it cools down. I'm not sure the humidity disappears.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's still humid.
Like I wonder if this year is maybe
tell
the
us.
most.
Give us some.
Is it the most tolerable? And at what point of the year are the crawfish the biggest for the feeding of myself? Right when I go down
harvesting.
The harvesting.
I was just like, hold on, because the crawfish are eating you?
No, I'm eating them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Anthony's annual crawfish harvest.
I forgot to tell you guys. Oh my God. So the other night,
you got yourself another boil?
No, I wish. I was actually. So I've never.
How many boils do you eat?
I've never seen it. I've never seen this before. Right?
Condition.
I was going down Chinden Boulevard, right, just right over here, and there's like that weird motorcycle shop that's kind of on like the south side of Chinden, right? There's like it's kind of an old motorcycle
yard,
shop,
isn't it?
It's not a salvage yard, but it's like a parts place. Like they have like old motorcycle parts.
It's a motorcycle salvage yard.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's got the chain
small
link
engine
fence.
repair place.
Small engine repair place, right?
Across the street from the bank. It's got like a bunch of lawnmowers.
No, wait. On Chinden?
Chinden.
No, that's on Chinden,
Remember,
not on...
No, Dane knows
the
exactly.
guy I sold my truck to
Veterans.
and got my Thunderbird from. On Veterans, almost to Chinden, you have that
Veteran
little
and
area.
Adams.
Yeah, it's Adams, yes.
No,
so are you talking about Veteran and Adams or
This is
Chinden?
local. Nobody here.
I'm talking about literally Chinden Boulevard.
Yeah, you're talking about down
you know where
Chinden?
the Moxie Java is?
Yes, across from there on the south side.
Yes.
Because Moxie's on the north side.
Yeah.
You head down.
Yeah, it's right
there is
there.
a salvage yard. Yes, motorcycle salvage.
Okay.
Dane is wrong.
Okay.
I am wrong.
You're right.
I'm not wrong. I didn't.
Anyways, now that we're on the same page.
What?
It's the location.
No,
you were saying it's the small engine repair on the corner of Veterans and Adams. What we're saying is it's a salvage yard on Chinden Avenue on the south side of Chinden Avenue.
That's a different thing.
You're arguing with a guy of 800, 900 years of history.
But the place I'm talking about exists.
It does exist.
We're gaslighting me now.
But it's the wrong place.
We don't know it truly exists.
I thought that's what he meant was
that's
that
what
place.
We're saying.
And I'm saying, yes, there is a place.
I know where you're talking about.
We are agreeing. We all have been there.
Don't come in just saying I'm flat wrong.
You're wrong about his story.
Right.
You're right about the location. It is a right location.
Oh my God.
You did sell your black truck there. That is correct.
Anyway, people have detailing questions.
Let me continue your story.
But sure,
I was heading downtown, right?
Good God.
I was heading downtown.
Yeah.
For
were
whatever.
you headed east?
No,
towards downtown?
Yeah, towards downtown. I don't know what the heck I was
so it would have
heading
been on
there
your
for.
right-hand side.
People watching are so confused.
I looked over.
That's what they love, though.
I looked over to my right, and I see that motorcycle repair shop. Right, it's nighttime. Right, it's 9-10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
What do I see? It was like heaven. Right. They had all the porch lights or the lights underneath the overhang on. Right. I see they brought out probably 5 or 6 massive picnic tables. Right.
Oh.
And they put like the picnic table covers over them. It was a whole feed. I slowed down, and they were pouring out a boil onto the picnic table.
Crawfish boil.
Top,
I bet it's
right?
crawfish out of the Boise River.
No,
probably crawfish from the Boise River.
I saw the corn, the sausage, the potatoes, and all that.
Yeah.
All
that makes me want to throw up.
I almost ripped that e-brake, right? Flipped around and said, I don't know if this is a family event. I don't know if this is like a workers event or an employee thing, but I want in on this. Because it's the first one I've ever seen in Boise, which I'm sure is probably a common thing in San Diego and also Louisiana.
Good on them for providing a crawfish boil for the family and their workers.
I just want to experience that with somebody like Dane.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't yet.
In the wrong location, because he would show up to the wrong spot.
I was simply reaffirming
that salvage yard. Yeah, the small engine repair on the corner.
He was describing a location, and I'm like, I have to stop at that light all the time. I know exactly the place. It's the kitty corner from the apartments they built more recently near the river.
Dean, the food's almost gone. Are you going to get here
on Google effing Earth?
Where are
so
you?
everybody
I'm next to an
understands.
F40 Ferrari. Yeah, I'm also standing next to an F40 Ferrari. Where are you?
It was
I'm
an
right
F50
here.
for the record.
I'm right here.
There's not many places you could be in a parking
no
lot
way
and say,
that there's
I'm next to the
multiple of these
F50,
cars.
and somebody's like, actually, it's the third one.
Yeah. Eric Beasley saying, brilliant detailing LLC. I was using the FTW for the first wipe and followed up with an Eagle 500. It's also not a bad route there. It cooled off finally, and then we have
Jojo Crawdaddy. Sup, fellers?
Hey.
Rick saying good afternoon. The gods
Wait a
of
second,
detail.
you skipped up? Oh, we're good.
Demo saying Eric Beasley grateful for that. And then Kirby Thompson, a wet, soggy Thursday afternoon from Houston. The fall season finally arriving. Afternoon TRC crew and viewers. Good. Sounds good, Kirby.
Yeah.
And detailing and review saying hello. Auto Care HQ, Grand Ambassador in the house saying, hey guys, hope you're having a great Thursday. Jojo Crawdaddy. Totally off topic, but I was cleaning up a faucet with an oil bronze sort of finish. I was getting ready to coat it and use 70% alcohol pad to prep it, and the whole thing turned splotchy white. Yeah, that can happen. You've got to remember most of those finishes aren't, they're not safe for that. So they're not designed to be coated. The oil bronze finish is mostly like a brushed on or sprayed on and then kind of rubbed a little bit. It's not a real finish. So especially on faucets and things like that, I would advise against that. If you do want to coat that stuff, I would just use soap and water and then try to coat it, because same thing could happen with the coating going on, is that it could deteriorate the some of the solvents in the coating or chemicals in the coating could cause that to also change.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Levi. But we do have Stefan that says, thumbnail ref, who in their right mind would soak that Mazda MX-5 without a soft top on? Foam dripped under, so I don't assume Absolute or any other rinseless.
That's right. I did that on purpose to trigger people who were expecting to see a convertible with the roof up when it got all foam. But actually, that's the power of AI.
Yeah.
It'll just make it a convertible, whether it is or it isn't.
Any ideas? I don't know how to fix that personally, Jojo Crawdaddy. Levi, I don't know if you do.
No.
Yeah. Hans closing it says, triple glasses. Looking great. Thanks.
It's just that
we're all
day.
rocking kind of a beard too. I mean, This is probably the most I've let this go.
We actually have the graduated progression here, starting with him, then getting to me, and then yours is the longest. So it's just like, you know.
It's itchy. It's uncomfortable.
That's why you have to use great products from the friends at Beard Struggle. Use offer code Levi15. Get yourself not only some oil or some balm, but I would recommend the Greenlander kit for greenhorns like yourself.
Wow.
Just starting out with a beard.
Wow.
Get you the shampoo, the conditioner, and then get you a balm and an oil at a wonderful rate.
That's awesome.
And 15% off when you use offer code Levi15 at checkout.
Too Fresh Detail Studio says, hey, everyone, listening while detailing an SUV. Thank you for joining. All right.
Super Auto saying 28 watching, 15 likes from 21 minutes ago.
That was quite a while ago.
And then Stephen Andy wearing Stiarna t-shirt. Glad to be here.
Hey.
And then Detail Vault, thumbs up. Gary from Long Island says, got the Ghost Max on right now. I love them. Very nice.
I'm
very
sending
nice,
it,
Gary.
and it's not going.
Gary from Long Island. And Fazal says, y'all going to make me drop my Skechers to pick up some Brooks. You should know that by now, Fazal. And then Detail Vault, got to say the Grand Ambassadors are smashing it.
True.
Darren's signing this week made me proud to be British. Quality of his reels have gone through the roof alongside everyone else.
Oh, this has been probably the best. I can't call him a quarter anymore because like a trimester. This has been the best run I think I've seen ever in all 4 years in terms of just overall competitiveness, quality, consistency. I am just super proud of all of them, and all I know is that it's going to be the most difficult decision in the world to choose to essentially king somebody or queen somebody out of this mix. It's
gonna be wild.
I don't know how it's going to happen. I think I'm going to put it all on Dane.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to go on vacation.
Yeah, sounds
so
great.
Whatever happens won't come back on me at all whatsoever.
Sure. I don't have enough to do already.
Steven says Dane likes him stiff. G.
boy.
Davis, I'll let you run with it, I think is what he means by that.
Shoes.
Then Detail Vault, also Jamie and Alex's podcast, Raging the Cage on Friday was unreal.
Oh, hilarious. It was hilarious. It was the best production. I was in tears when Jamie was like, the line that just killed me was when it was like Jamie was like, I'm gonna like a Slim Jim, I'm gonna snap you in half, right? And then Alex is like, I didn't think Slim Jims really snapped. I thought they just kind of bend from all the preservatives. Then Jamie's like, I don't know what's in the Slim Jim. I don't know how they make them, dude. I was in tears.
Awesome.
He had that old tagline, snap into a Slim Jim, stuck in his head so much.
It was so funny. It was so funny, man.
Lakes County Country Detailer. Is there a vinyl and leather restoration repair training that you would recommend? So, Color Lock is the one we would most recommend. After that would be Leather Repair Company. Now, Leather Repair Company just did hold a training in Florida this last week. And then Color Lock, you can reach out to Brian Guy and just go on their website, colorlock.com, and they'll have trainings and things like that. And Brian is going to be traveling and doing some of that stuff around the area, around the world, around the U.S. mostly, to get those kinds of trainings for Color Lock. But they have trainings everywhere. All over the world, but as you know, Lars is always in on our podcast, so you can always ask him, Lars Pickard, or just hit him up on their website on colorlock.com and get in on it. It's an awesome training. I've done it. It's great. So,
all right,
highly recommend it.
Moving on to page 2. Holy cow.
Super Auto saying, I'm thinking the Brooks would be the Porsche Panamera on my big feet. Obviously,
there you go. Boats.
Man, that's the best Porsche ever designed. Like, hands down, top tier, 100%.
I think so.
Not only the most beautiful.
So many choices.
Not only the most beautiful, but the best handling, highest performance rating. Pretty much a supercar of supercars.
Underwhelming.
The performance is extremely competent.
The best.
Have you ever heard a rapper rap about the Porsche Panamera? No, there's a reason for that.
Panamera.
See, the problem is people get stuck in the hype
gonna
of
stare at the ugliest Panamera.
The first gen Panamera is a beluga whale on wheels, but the second gen really did help fix the roof line a bit.
Yeah. The first gen is still the unicorn, the best of the best of the best. Like, they should have just closed up shop once they designed that and developed that, because they couldn't do any better.
You can find a base model for like
I can't beat a 911
on your local buy here.
So starting like today, I would sell a body part for a 992 GT3 RS, right? Like, I don't know what body part it would be. There would be something coming off of me, though, right? And to be able to make that
out of,
happen.
because I think a kidney would.
But Anthony, here's the fun part.
I don't know.
You don't need to sell a body part for a Panamera. You can just buy one.
I know. They're an affordable daily
literally
driver.
could go up Shindig and find a few for sale right now.
You could, for the cost of a new Camry.
What I like about it too is that you would then be a
Camrys
Porsche owner. Then you'd be a Porsche owner, and you could show up to the Porsche clubs, like in the events.
And I'd have the nicest concourse level Porsche on the planet, and they'd be like, "This Panamera." Is stunning, and I'm like, it's got 200,000 miles on it.
I want you to buy the basis
$15,000, right?
And roll up with that deadly series.
And they couldn't tell you that it's not a Porsche, right? It's not like the Boxster, which you can say that's not a real Porsche, right?
Yeah.
The Panamera has a little bit more, it's
got more
sway
style
than that. Would you agree, Dane?
It's more swag, is what we call that. As a future Panamera owner and enthusiast,
what's more Porsche to you, a Cayman or a Boxster?
They're both equally Porsche. Do you not know the history of Porsche and the 356 Speedster?
Okay, which one to you, when you look at it, goes, that's
or James Dean's 550?
Okay, would a true Porsche owner drive a Cayman or a Boxster?
If you had to get handed a Boxster or a Cayman, which would you be more likely to want and be happier with?
This is going to be controversial.
What would you be most disappointed in?
There's so many generations of Boxster to choose from.
First generation.
Know, Dane, the $10,000 Boxster I can go find on Marketplace right now.
A $10,000 Boxster.
If I'm going to get a quote-unquote cheaper Porsche, I want the top to come off so I can enjoy it more. So
yes, so you're like a convertible.
I'm going to get a Boxster Spider.
No, you don't get to pick the style.
Yes, because I want the cowls behind the seats.
You just get a convertible.
No, you don't get that.
Boxster, generic,
with the super difficult bikini top to put on there. That's just a pain in the butt.
Boxster. No, you don't get that. You get a basic Boxster.
Boxster S.
Or
with 180,000 miles.
But the previously hated Porsche was that we said was the 944, right?
No, the 944 is all right. I mean, it's kind of unloved, but the 924 is the one that
the 924 is like the $3,000 Porsche. Yeah, $2,000 Porsche.
The 944 is the 924 that took steroids.
Yeah.
The 944 is the one we're LS swapping. We're buying
Gotcha.
a couple and we're LS.
The
We can get them for
924
like $5,000.
Or you guys are selling a body part like me, and you're getting into a 992 GT3 RS, right? And which you couldn't really even afford to drive because
You've cut off your arm.
Yeah.
To be
Or
fair,
a leg.
Most people gave the
Shifting.
Porsche 914 a hard
I want
time.
just my right arm.
Well, you could have like a
Most gave the
prosthetic.
Porsche 914 a hard time because it originally started life as a Volkswagen project and then got turned over. But
Anyway.
yes, the 914 is a thing.
I was just
But
trying to
people
see
do
your
LS
loyalty, where your loyalty lies there, Dane.
My loyalty lies in good driving platforms. It came in
Yeah,
the box.
like
They're
you
both
can't beat
excellent.
the Panamera. We've all seen it. We've all
As
said it.
sedans go,
Here
the
we go.
Panamera
Joey
has
Belinsky
amazing
with
athleticism.
a sup fellers. Did a wash using CarPro D-Scale to clean up some fresh water spots, and it seemed to diminish my Diamond Body 36 water behavior. Does the coating hate lower pH shampoos? No, it doesn't, but it probably needs washed rather than hit with CarPro D-Scale. Like, you probably need to hit it with some soap and stuff to clarify it.
Clean up some fresh water spots that
Yeah.
seem to diminish. Well, did the water spots go away, or what ended up happening?
Yeah. Because actually, Diamond Body 36 really loves a lower pH shampoo.
So when you used the reactivation shampoo from Coach Chemi, right? Because that's
beautiful.
coming. Did you have any issues on the Diamond Pro Tech? Nothing at all. Water behavior is still there.
It brought it back to when it was brand new.
Because they lost water behavior on the doors.
Yeah.
And you used it on those doors, and they brought it back.
Yep.
That was interesting.
And it was soap, so you wash it. Yeah, I had to wash it with the soap because it is a soap.
Yeah.
So.
Who knows? That is interesting.
Who knows?
All I
tried
know is
washing it with just soap now.
My wife's, dude, by the way.
It's still slaying.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It was still, like, I think I mentioned when I washed it like a week and a half ago, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, that I was like, hot damn, dude. Like, this thing is still going, like, really, really well. And, I mean, I just blow dried it because I didn't have to really take a towel to. I wiped it out a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, the blow dryer, it was just flying off. It was cool.
It's very nice.
Super Auto says Easter Bunny, and Easter Bunny means Creature Bunny. Yeah.
I don't know. What's that say about us?
Masters of the Shine. Happy Friday Eve, everyone. I'll have to catch this episode later tonight. Got to take my daughter to parent-teacher conference.
Oh, have fun.
Good luck. This has probably already been more chaotic than a parent-teacher conference.
Mazel the Gazelle saying, hey, guys, we got a puppy. So I need all the puppy advice. Crate train that puppy.
Yeah.
Very first thing you can do. Tony, your dog will thank you. Most people get freaked out by leaving a dog in a kennel overnight, but they actually love it. It's very instinctual for them. I would do that. I think you guys will sleep better, and I think you'll just be happier when you can say, kennel up, and the dog goes into the kennel and goes to bed.
Yeah, I don't know if he doesn't have to say kennel up. He can just say, go to your home.
We can call it a kennel.
Or
you can say home.
Or cave.
You can say bed. Go to bed.
I don't disagree that it works and it's effective. I mostly just think like these are the things we tell ourselves to rationalize. Oh, he likes it. He likes it.
They do. They love a cave.
Some do.
They're
not all.
know that.
They're an
Some
apex
do,
predator, and they need their cave.
Depends on what kind of dog do
To
they
hang
have.
out
Dog,
in.
not a wolf.
Well, yeah,
there
what
is a
kind of-
relation,
kind
but
of
They
dog?
are all
long stream
wolves.
No, they're not. They're twice
They're
removed.
descendants of wolves.
So they all have that primal instinct.
except for
all
the
of
part where they
them.
got domesticated. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they still want to be
So
in a
Tony,
nice
let us know
warm
what kind of puppy you got, and
Please.
we're gonna go from there. But it sounds like you're gonna have your hands
So
full.
Tony, I'll say this: my dogs are all I try to train them to a certain
you only
extent.
have one.
All my dogs that I've had.
You only have one right
So
now.
Watson though loves his kennel, and we don't put him in his kennel, and we let him have a bed, but we put the bed in the same spot as the kennel used to be, and now he only goes and lays on that, or when he's in our room, he comes and lays on any one of our number pieces of clothes that lay on the ground.
there you go. Whatever's
So I get to wake up with him sleeping on a pair of my pants or shorts that may have fallen on the ground.
There
So
you go.
Interesting.
that's
Okay.
frustrating. And I want to bring the kennel back so I can lock him in there so he doesn't come out.
Every housewife specifies Halloween is great and all, but bring on Christmas. So you're just skipping over Halloween?
No,
Spooky
Darren.
season?
I don't know. Honestly, I think Christmas makes me sadder than Halloween does.
It's because it's close to your birthday.
That could be it, or it could just be the fact that, like, I don't know. It just everybody's really pushing for the happiness, right? And I kind of go, are you really Are you really happy?
Really that happy?
Are you really that happy? Right? Whereas like Halloween, you could be gloomy. You could be happy or you could be like depressed, right? And what I like is that it kind of fits both of those things, right? People are like, oh, you love Halloween. I love Halloween. And you go, you know, and they go, oh, you're kind of like,
tell your wife
you have like that Halloween ambiance about you. You know, you're kind of like dark and spooky, and you're just like, it just kind of bums me out.
I'm surprised you're not driving the RSX in the spooky season.
I know, right?
You know, well, Dane's actually rocking a lot of. He listened to a lot of Rob Zombie.
I'm gonna do that
during the whole month of October
on the front of the RSX and add teeth to the front.
Yeah,
there you go.
And people will know that I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I saw a car the other day that had like the fake chains hanging from it with like it was hilarious too.
Like it broke free.
It was a G35, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, of course it's a G35.
Something horrible's gonna happen.
I'm like,
on its way to the local takeover.
On its way to local takeover to actually get some real blood on there. God. That's horrible, but very true.
No. At least it's not another Miata with a tongue sticking out of the front.
Yeah. Super Auto 2K says rumor has that TRC crew is going
Who are you
to be
talking
going to
Super
collab
Auto?
with PNS on making a crystal.
We don't even
wash
sell
bid.
crystal wash.
We don't, but is Gabe like saying things back there and trying to like create rumors?
That's crazy.
Oh man.
DS, have y'all tried the Ultra Air Gun for spot cleaning those modern woven headliners? Yeah, so the key is just not get it right up onto it. But you can use it to clean very lightly. I just use water in the blaster, but the air gun works too. Honestly, though, just O&R on a towel works great for cleaning woven, and then you can blast it just lightly to get any extra dirt and stuff. Nice. So,
yeah.
Brett G says, finally, a walk-in shop again. Yes, we're very
excited for that.
Very excited for it.
We are very. All right. On to page 2. Gosh, you guys got to bring on the questions. Or I should have promoted the show.
Maybe you should have, Dane. Detail
Hey,
Vault says, thanks, man. Been doing a car and filming every day to get a reel out. Stay tuned. Got some GB man videos dropping soon. Oh, I love all these, man.
Darren,
but how would Darren,
beekeeper.
how would Darren know that Grandmaster Man has some videos?
Because he's a videographer for him.
For Grandmaster Man. It's the same situation I have with my local
identical. Basically same setup.
Darren, I have a question for you. Anthony showed me a movie trailer the other day.
No, I sent it. He knows.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, he's aware.
That's what I just called him, Darren the Beekeeper.
I know, but I thought you said it
beekeeper.
without him knowing, so I wanted to like clarify in case
it was
he
a
wasn't
whole
aware.
movie based on Darren's life.
It's still yet to come out.
No, it is. It's a Dane. That's not how. So it's a movie that they wrote a story about a man from the UK who is a beekeeper. They wrote a story about that, and then they made it into a movie. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you've ever gone to film school or anything like that, but movies take up to 18 months to produce, sometimes 2 years, sometimes 3, depending on the size of the scope of the thing. But they also have to buy the story.
Dane Day.
Yeah,
I feel it.
So,
I feel it in my bones.
Again,
Darren's
based
story.
on a man from the UK who likes honey.
Oh lordy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
highly trained, arguably an assassin. That
highly trained in different skills like cleaning vehicles, tending bees,
and
then knowing some form of chemicals as to certain things are flammable, certain things aren't.
Taking out scammers.
Or an allegory.
Yeah.
Joey Belinsky says that he had just picked up some spiced apple Waterloo too. It's great. All of their flavors are fire. Joey, this is my first Waterloo, and I'm no longer saying Waterloo, man. I'm Team Waterloo.
Okay.
I hope that our new sponsor can see this, that life isn't the same without a Waterloo. So thank you guys very much.
Masters of the Shine saying, isn't that an ABBA song? Yes. And then Super Auto saying spice. Apple Waterloo.
That's right. Spice is spelled with a C now.
And then Ulysses with the spice.
That's going to be one of those inside jokes that just lives on, and people have no idea where it came from, but it's going to stick.
One reference, yeah.
Followed by another.
Adla.
All right.
Camaro with leather seats and white inserts, dingy looking. PNS Express won't make a ding. Any products you recommend? I thought about white leather shoe scuff stuff used as kids many, many moons ago. Do not do that. No. Adla, if you've got, pick up a VLB brush.
Yep.
And pick up some Color Lock Strong leather cleaner.
Yeah, don't use Don't use the what's it called, magic eraser.
Unless you want to damage your leather.
Don't do that, and don't grab the white leather shoe scuff stuff. That's paint.
No.
Yeah. But grab a VLB brush, grab a color lock brush just for so you have one, and then get some color lock strong leather cleaner, and you should be able to just annihilate the dirt out of those.
The strong cleaner is no joke.
The strong cleaner
we recommend the mild cleaner for like everything. We rarely recommend strong cleaner unless you absolutely need it.
Super Auto 2K says, yes, it is. Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender.
I was going to say, there's a Napoleon bit there. Yep.
And then we've got
Bearded.
The Bearded Hunter.
Bearded Hunter popping in.
Afternoon, everyone. Waterloos are awesome. I believe as they steam the fruit, they use that vapor to carbonate the drink, thus giving it greater flavor.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
Combo.
Again,
all right. Makes sense.
Dropping knowledge.
Who knew?
Grandambassadors.
Waterloo.
Dropping knowledge.
This is just starting to feel like a big ad.
Joey Belinsky
says,
I keep the fridge stocked with orange, vanilla, black cherry, and peach on the regular.
Ooh,
where are you guys finding?
I got black cherry.
You can get them at Albertsons. You can get them up at Kroger. Really? You can pick them up anywhere. Dane's just bought them at Costco.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I could get a nice.
Is it like a variety pack, or was it
from what
separate?
I can tell, it is these two, and I thought there were other flavors, but I haven't really looked that closely. Because so far, everyone I pulled out has been one of these.
Look at the wide mouth on that can, though, too.
Yeah,
right.
It's pretty much the same as this one.
This is much significantly bigger than Levi's.
Looks about the same to me.
I think that's for airflow and to maximize flavor as well. That's just
okay.
The things that our friends who are at Waterloo are doing. It's just insane. Next question here. We have Bearded Hunter says, when washing your car with a stronger soap, more acidic or alkaline, do you always go back afterwards and neutralize the surface with a pH neutral soap?
So here's what I do. I just literally had this conversation with Tyler Cucci this morning from Diamond Pro Tech. He, one thing we talked about is when you start out with a pre-cleaner that is either a high alkaline or a low acid, the biggest thing to do is if you're using that as your pre-cleaner and you're foaming the car with that, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Just make sure that your soap is a pH neutral soap. That's the best way, because then it brings that surface, that content down, and then you can just clean, because you use those to strip whatever is on there.
Even with water, you are not neutralizing that acid or that alkaline fully with just water alone, right? You're diluting it, but if there's still chemical on the surface, right, that chemical is still active there.
And technically, you should go the
lesser
opposite.
Dilution.
Technically, you should go with something like, if you're going with a, let's say we take reactive soap from Kosh Chemi, which is on its way, with a pH of 3, 2.5, 3, and we're pressure washing, or we're foaming that on the surface and we're rinsing it off. Technically, we should take something like GSF, which is at an 8, 7 or 8, or something like super foam, right? Or active. Which one's super foam, then active foam? Or
active foam's
foam.
A 9.
So we take active foam and use that in our bucket to wash. So that way we can bring that balance back, because it kind of plays in that. It'll neutralize. You want an alkaline to neutralize an acid, and vice versa. But what we found on car surfaces, realistically, the key is just a pH neutral soap, and then wash with the soap.
Which we're almost, I think every time we've ever used anything, whether it's super foam or active foam, or we've even done like a Green Star mix with like GSF, we'll foam that, right? Mm-hmm. But and whether we rinse it or not, but in our bucket we will always have a pH balanced soap.
Correct.
There's never a time where we don't have a pH balanced soap.
Right, exactly. It's always that.
I don't personally want to stick my hands in a bucket of super foam, right? Because that's not going to feel very good. They're going to get really itchy, and it's not good for your
burning.
health.
You're getting a chemical burn.
Yeah, it's not good for you. So a pH balanced soap is always going to be the most ideal. So just something to keep in mind. Super Auto says fall in North Georgia is amazing. I can only imagine all those leaves, right? Mm-hmm. You remember those backwoods of Georgia where that racetrack was? We went. Mm-hmm. What was that called?
Atlanta Motorsports Park.
Right? Remember in the woods there? What if we went there during the fall?
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
Every time we've gone, it's been February.
What
if we stayed up there at the Dahlonega
in the fall?
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you be in heaven?
I'd move there. I'd just say, I'm going to live in one of these cabins, and then there'll be a knock on the door, and they'll be say, "Sir, you can't live here." And I say, "I can."
You'd walk down the street, and there'd be somebody that just has like an old 1960s, Chevy sitting like literally in the woods. They're like, "Yeah, I got this old
covered
truck.
in the bramble."
Yeah, can anybody help me out with this? You want me to rebuild it?
Yeah.
Like, I'll rebuild it. And then people would say, "Where do you live, Levi Gates?" And you go, "I live in that trailer, right? My new Avenger, just right down the street."
Avenger.
Yeah.
Remember, I was the one who loved it so much there that I actually pursued for the better part of multiple months trying to find the wind chime that they used there on the deck. Had no markings on it, and I used the sound and listened to hundreds and hundreds of recordings of wind chimes online.
Fun fact: he could have just called the Dahlonega and asked them to go look on the what wind chime do you have? I
wanted to find it using my own detective skills. It took a while.
Did you actually end up finding it?
Yeah, he did. What do you think I have outside under my deck?
Is it the exact one?
Yes.
I thought you said you had a more oriental sound to it.
No, it's the same. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
No, or
oh
like
my God.
Sorry, I don't know how to say that. It's like it's more of a. I don't know. You said it had more of a different sound to it.
Okay, so there's the music of the spheres. It's like a whole thing, but basically it's a very specific metallic composition. They have different styles. Some are like Japanese or Caribbean. These other ones, they have many different styles with different keys. You can get them in different keys. Like they're all musical. So I found the one that I thought was closest while still being appealing to me. It was the vibe. It wasn't an exact same one, but it was from the same line.
So here's what you need next, Dane.
Yeah.
Go to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Pick up a couple rocking chairs.
Yeah.
Go put those out on your deck.
That's true. I need to do that.
And that way you can just try and relive that experience.
Yeah.
Where you can rock. Maybe you got a blanket over you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got your spiced apple drink.
Got a little Waterloo there.
Got your Waterloo. Callie's out there in the yard, classic. And you're just relaxing, looking at the trees. The colors change.
Yeah, the breeze blows by.
I like that. Says fall. So it feels amazing. Leaves starting to change. That sounds awesome. Jeff C says, "Have you guys had a chance to try the new KCX reactivation shampoo? Is that the product you were hinting at a few weeks ago?"
Yep.
Maybe
Jeff,
not.
That was what we've been talking about all day today. But yeah.
Today, yeah. But
today,
there's a lot.
We've been hitting at a lot of stuff.
Joey Lindsay says Shinden.
He
spelled it close.
Riggs.
Owen, no. Ian, yes.
Riggs 920 says cleaned a white VW with a plethora of fallout spots. Use traditional clay. Is there a synthetic option with similar aggressiveness?
Not really. Most of some of your synthetic clays have the capacity, your mitts and stuff. There are more aggressive ones, but they are going to score the surface a lot more. And honestly, you can just press a little harder with some of the fine clay mitts and things. But realistically, the worry is that's why we do the synthetic clay, and then we have the clay bar. That makes sense. So with our traditional clay, you get a little more aggressive with that. But
Super Auto says there are
more aggressive
synthetic decontamination talismans out there. I believe so.
Yeah. We choose not to offer those.
Neil White says, "Hey, TRC crew, hope you're doing well."
What's up, Neil?
Thank you very much. And then Philly Walls says, "I did that in the Philippines. It was a cash wash and fish boil spot."
Oh, man, they're taking your thing, Anthony. That was going to be a whole business.
That's what I want. I want a cash wash and...
Cash wash and catfish. There you go. Okay.
Postseason LFG, Neil White, and then Neil White says, "Did all day Jar Jar finish watching Ahsoka?" I did finish watching Ahsoka last night.
I haven't even started it.
Just gonna go ahead and say, pretty underwhelming ending. Like you could probably just start that show on episode 4 and watch to like 7 and end it. Yeah. Call it good. You don't need to even watch the last one because there's just a bunch of just muddled. It wasn't good. So not a great series in general. Long live Jar Jar Binks.
Andor is still the best.
This is a great one by my unofficial cousin Brett Gates.
Yes.
As a Boise resident of roughly 675 years, the Chinden Tangent was music to my ears.
You're like the one niche targeted person for that story.
Yes, love that.
Again, a Gates family member. Neil White, Super Auto 2K, they better be ready. I hate the Phillies.
Oof.
And then Mythical
Those Philly
Shore.
fanatics.
Is anyone curious what it's like working in the TRC office? Just listen to the small engine repair conversation for 8 hours. It's producer Glenn.
She enjoys it.
Mark Stone saying, hello, gentlemen.
Hello,
So
Mark.
funny.
Welcome.
The demo, it's
What a
usually
mess today.
pretty humid most of the time. Not so bad today. Summers are brutal. Crawfish are more plentiful in March and April as long as there are no cold
Gotcha.
snaps.
There you go.
I should know that. I just remembered there was like a rule where it was like months that end in R are the bad months to eat crawfish.
It's pretty much most months, I think.
No.
December,
WY.
November.
No, it was okay. It was something like
September,
the months and in R are the
I'm
good
thinking
months, or
days
they're
of the week.
or they're the
Never
bad
mind.
months. Somebody
August,
can confirm with me.
July, June. All the summer months are not good to eat. May, February,
This is just a
July.
chaotic mess.
So maybe it is.
January. Like it's all the months except for these
Where did
months.
I hear that from? Then maybe somebody is messing with me.
Maybe.
I think your brain just had like a moment
No,
where it dipped off into...
I think when I went and got the seafood when I went to my last, when I had my last boil there over at the Hook and Reel place in
They told you
Meridian.
that? They said
I think they
these
said
4
yeah,
months.
these months were the end in this. This is the good months, and now I'm getting bad information. It seems to be.
Probably, yeah.
But Graham Marshall is here to.
So I can still make money.
Graham Marshall is here to add some balance to the
Thank you,
world
Graham.
with
Thank you.
hello and welcome to the world's greatest detailing sensation, the Spice Lads, featuring Master Spice, Great Spice, and All Day Spice, and the worldwide smash about Rupes Uno and Piano Speedmaker to become one. That's great.
Graham,
Thank
that
you,
is
Graham.
awesome.
That was a
We
very G.
appreciate
Davis
you.
written thing.
yeah,
I like it.
And Rig saying Super Auto, thanks. I need to figure out which one of those to stuck up on. And then Super Auto saying
Bam.
52.25 now.
He's just keeping tabs.
And then JP, any tips on how to remove stubborn, dried interior stains? My buddy had me detail his SUV. In his back seats,
Ugh.
have these random, crusty, dried up white spots all over the back seat. Really strange. That, my friend, is when PNS Terminator comes in to break down all those enzymatic, with its enzymatic cleaners to break up all those weird
Come with me
white
if you
stains.
want to live.
Enjoy it. Joey Belinsky saying, I love me a Panamera, no cap.
Panera Bread.
Then Super Auto saying, first club of the maybe PNS carpet cleaning trio. Fletch Fletcher really moving through engine bays with this engine blade blaster filled with O&R with Power Clean as the pre-spray. The thing can really move some stuff. Nice work, y'all.
Thank
Excellent,
you.
Fletch.
That's
Glad
what
you're
I want
enjoying
to
it.
hear some reviews from
Yeah.
people who are in the comments who've tried them. What do you think? How's it going using it? Because they're pretty fun.
Super Auto saying, I don't see any more of them very much, but clean Porsche 928 is
I love the 928s. That was always kind of like my dream Porsche as a kid, not really knowing anything else at the time. I knew a 928 existed before I knew the 911 existed, so that's kind of surprising, but yeah. Cool car. Joey saying, descale, cleaned up water spots. I noticed more oblong beads, and my blower wasn't moving water around like before. Gonna give it a pH neutral soap bath tonight, and I'll report back.
Sounds good.
Good, yeah.
Okay,
Good plan.
let us know.
Two Fresh Detail Studios. There's something I can add to PNS Pearl to add more bite, like maybe some EnviroClean. Yeah, you can. Totally can do
I
that.
don't think that would hurt anything.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then Darren saying, Detail Vault singing definitely isn't my forte, but I do feel like my Clay Bar song went down well. Then Darren asking if you guys used Gliptone products. No, we have not.
I've heard of them. Have
Yeah,
not
we've
used
heard of them. We just haven't. CJ Byrne. I have diamond glass on my truck for 7 months. Tons of bug hits, glass station squeegee, and miles commuting to Cincinnati before the move there. The coating's starting to diminish, but it's still there. It's pretty good, man. It's a 1-year coating on your windshield. So, yeah.
So, follow up.
Should I just hit a glass prep and reapply, or should I polish first? No, you could just glass prep and reapply if you want. You could polish it if you really want to, but you don't have to. And then Darren saying, aha, I don't like it for the happiness. I like it for the lights. National Lampoon's Christmas lights at my house. I get it. There you go. Mazel the Gazelle saying it's a golden doodle.
Oh, my.
Okay. That's
So
fun.
it's got some kind of funky looking hair.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's cool. Wesley Oaks. Oh, wow. I didn't even know.
Hypoallergenic.
Yeah. No, that's good for you guys, Tony.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good for people with allergies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's the idea.
Wesley saying, oh, wow, I didn't even know KCX even made an acid wash. I
Yeah.
need that. Yeah, it's coming. It's I think only one seller has it right now online.
I think it's KCX.
And it's literally probably KCX. So it's coming.
Holy cow! I'm on to page 1, guys. You got to keep bringing these comments.
Jamie the cleaner with a Christmas present.
Sounds like we're having to come in with some more Chinden.
I hope not. Please
see how well
save me
Dane
from
knows
that.
his directions around town.
What if we do that? What if
I
we come
wasn't
up with some
telling
places
anybody-
and see if he can figure out where it is?
I'm gonna freak out because I wasn't telling anybody
Southside.
anything. I was simply
This
reaffirming what he seemed to think he knew, and I was like, "Oh, it's near Chinden," but what you're thinking of is this.
Dane does GeoGuessr live here on the Rad Company.
Hey, believe it or
Q&A.
not, I'm pretty
Where
good
in
at
the
that
world
game.
is Anthony and Levi at?
Yeah.
God. Super Auto.
Saying what's up. Jamie Cleaner's got a present for everyone.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Darren
man.
says in the cast, and they cast Jason Statham as me, best lookalike they could find. I know, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
It was
It's
really,
uncanny.
I'm just excited to know somebody, to know that person.
Well, yeah.
Like in real life.
I'm just telling you right now, don't
Right.
let
Who it
don't
was
let
based
John's wife Mandy catch you because she loves Jason Statham.
she does, yeah.
Yeah.
Her favorite.
Yeah.
Alex Dewar, happy Friday Eve. Got the new blower and dressing applicator. Cannot wait to try them. Excellent.
Yeah.
Enjoy them, man.
Maybe that was the
Have
one.
fun.
I don't know why I paused there. Congratulations.
It's a long
Yeah,
pause.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Alex.
Now we're
I-
overcompensating.
I was
Yes.
spacing out.
Have you guys
Something
ever?
there today.
Okay, so this is one that so this is something that bothers me. Have you guys ever polished the clear plastic on the instrument cluster gauge
have.
bezel? What product do you use?
Multiple times.
I watched him do
So
it.
here's the thing.
Yep.
Is it worth it to polish that or just buy a new?
Depends.
Usually it's
Depends.
not
Depends.
worth it.
Depends on the
If-
type of vehicle.
If the vehicle, if they still make them, right, and you can buy a new one for like $15, probably just buy a new one.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, you're probably never gonna find one ever again, and there's probably some pretty noticeable scratches, or it's affecting your visibility into that cluster, may not be worth trying. May be worth trying. Or if you can find one at a junkyard, right, and go pull that and then polish that up, and
Do some practice.
Get some practice, and then go into it. You can. Where I went wrong was I polished our Subaru that we had here at the Rad Company, the STI project that we had. I was trying to polish inside the bezel there. What I did not like about that is when you're polishing inside of a bezel, you do have to tape everything off. But even so, when you tape everything off and you're trying to use a pad that can cut relatively well, let's just say you're using wool. That compound on that wool and those fibers are going everywhere. And on top of that, if you use too much compound, where's that compound going? It's going into all the cracks and crevices around the bezel,
that's
right?
why I don't like it.
So then it's like, okay, then it's a mess. So then you say, okay, I'll just take the bezel out. So you take the bezel out. You pray to God you don't break anything, because chances are you could break something. Unclipping that thing is very tight. And if you don't, let's just say, break anything and unclipping something, then trying to get it over the steering wheel, you could nick the steering wheel. There's multiple things that you have to take into precaution when doing that. But once you get it out, you could polish it, pop it off, clean the inside, clean the outside, and it could make a difference.
Here's one big one though, and this has been the concern that maybe not with most cars it's not an issue, but for a car that's value lies in like having low mileage or something like that, I would immediately try and avoid taking the cluster out, because as soon as somebody discovers that the cluster's been moved or
let's say-
taken out of a car, it's immediately suspect that those miles are accurate.
But that's why Carfax exists.
But here's the
That's
thing.
not going to tell you the
Here's
truth
the thing,
all
though,
the
Dane.
times.
I owned a low mileage vehicle.
Sure.
My 94 Chevy pickup. Very low mileage.
How low were those miles?
142,000 miles.
There it is.
Now, but a very low mileage vehicle, right? So
Is it missed?
when I
missed every day.
Can't
when
take
I
any of
pulled-
this seriously.
when I pulled that cluster out,
yeah.
it was very scratched.
Yeah.
But you know what I did?
What'd you do?
Called up my friends at LMC Truck.
Oh,
Bought a new plastic cover.
What?
Pulled the other one, it just clipped on, popped it off, blew out the gauges so that they looked clean, got all the bugs and stuff that were in there in the
Sure.
dirt. And then I just popped the new one on, peeled the plastic off, put it in, put the screws in the surrounding back in, and it looked like I had a brand new cluster sitting there with the mileage still exactly the same because I didn't touch it.
Right. It also happens to be one of the most popular American trucks of all time, the OBS.
142,000.
Of course you're going to be
That
able
is
to
a
get that
low
plastic.
mileage beauty.
For somebody who has like a Subaru SVX, though, I'm not going to be able to get that plastic. Are you kidding?
Well, that's why you go to the junkyard and buy another one.
Assuming
practice.
you can find one. At
Sure,
the
you can.
junkyard.
They didn't.
There's plenty of
all
SVXs, but they're all
lived.
gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you
I
know?
miss
What are you gonna do?
Okay, Tyler Cucci says, let's see, I could have just waited till now and didn't have to play phone tag with you all day.
Yeah, we called each other like 4 times.
That is too fun. Well, you know what? This actually seems like a pretty good little stopping
break,
point.
yeah.
We're going to go ahead and jump to a quick break so we can grab some snacks, go to the bathroom, do what we got to do. And I recommend doing the same for you, and maybe you grab yourself a Waterloo.
Just trying to rhyme.
I am trying to rhyme. So here's a few brief messages from ourselves and our friends, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Go ahead, get dirty. P&S Off-Road.
All right, hello and welcome back to the second half of the Rag Company.
I just want everyone to know I did not call Dane an idiot. You can roll the tape back.
You did not.
I literally just said he was in the wrong place.
You just said you're wrong, which implied like somehow I was dumb for thinking this thing was in
The
a place.
Chinden
The place I was
debacle
describing was
conversation is
real.
still going on right now.
The place I was describing was real. It just wasn't the place
Right.
that he was misremembering as a different place. So we got that settled now.
Yeah, we're right.
Good.
We're right on there.
I just love that this all had to. This came from me saying something pointless. It's as pointless as saying
did.
like,
It
"Hey,
really
I
did.
saw
No,
a
wrong
company
spot. That's
having
all. You're in the wrong
crawfish
location.
boil and
The crawfish
My
boil
mind.
happened on this
turned
part.
into this." So
Okay, let's try page 3.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, we're going back to page 2 now. Maybe I'll find him there.
here we
All right.
go. We're at
so
Jeff C.
Tyler, so
Yes.
Jeff C. Would absolute or O&R be enough to neutralize a high pH or low pH cleaner? Yes, it would.
Yeah,
Or
I've-
soap really
yeah.
best. Yeah, either one of those would be just fine.
Can we just
Jeff.
follow up with
All
O&R?
right. And I think I need Glenn to bring up the comments because I can't do that from the iPad. It won't do it on its own.
There we go.
There we go.
And then Tyler Cucci says, you mean I could have just waited for the podcast
Yeah.
for my answer instead of playing phone tag all day? It was still worth it. Tyler, it's always a good time talking to you.
Of course.
Superado saying, thanks to Anthony, I'm now picturing a wind chime made of little miniature gongs.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's hilarious.
Antoine Armstrong.
It's a really cool wind chime, okay?
Antoine Armstrong says, late, but I am here. Just bought a 1500 in a liquidator as I'm in the market to replace my old drying house. Gonna see which one I like, then come back and stock up. I guarantee, Antoine, you might...
I love the liquidator.
I
Or the
love
1500,
The
I mean.
1500 is gonna sell them.
It is. I've got a liquidator and a 1500 and a gauntlet at home. The one I reach for, 1500 all the time.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Right. Sam Taylor says, yikes, I'm late. What's up, detailing fam and TRC crew?
What's up,
Sam,
man?
you've
Welcome.
missed so much. Today's episode is a mess.
So good. All right. So we've got a little bit of time. It's the second half, second hour. We just wanted to give everybody a heads up again. Make sure you go to the website, sign up for the newsletter if you're new and you don't know, because in the next week or so, we've got some pretty cool things popping on the website that are going to be coming to you.
Popping, locking, and dropping. Am I
So,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
No,
So
that's
please
the thing.
sign up for the newsletter. That way you can be notified. Second,
Yes.
how do we play this game where we try and come up with another space to see if Dane can get near it?
No, it has to be something
Like,
that
in
has
his
like
brain, he figures it out.
Another place that has a similar description to it, but is in a kind of close area,
Okay.
but isn't the one I'm thinking of. Let's do that again, and just to gaslight me again.
No, it's not about gaslighting you. It's about seeing if you can figure out where the location is. That's what I want to do.
It's called
I wanna-
GeoGuessr, and
Yeah.
they need
How
to
do we
make
play this
a
game with
Boise,
you?
Idaho edition that
sure
I
they
can
have.
play, and I'll do it live on stream on the podcast channel when no one else is going to watch, and I'll just
No, we'll be
figure out
like I think it'd be
stuff,
a fun thing. Like we'll just come up with a spot
Yeah.
based on the description of the area.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can figure out a way.
Okay.
Like we'll give you a street name.
Yeah.
Like we'll give you like you can ask like what type of features there are along that. Maybe like north, south, east, and west. You know, like that way you can kind of get your bearings on that street.
Yeah.
And then figure out exactly what the location
I got a
would be.
very short, small one.
Okay.
what you
Okay.
got?
Okay. Here's your hints.
Okay.
This is just the general location I'm looking for.
Is this an area you know I'm familiar with then?
Maybe or maybe not, right? We'll
Because if
see.
it's like out in Star or something,
Dane,
I
okay.
don't know.
Let
Okay,
the
there-
players at home know how long
Okay.
you've lived in Boise, Idaho.
I am not a resident of 679 years. I'm a resident of, oh gosh.
Well, I'm
about-
over almost 900. So
Well, I've only been a resident here for about 21 years.
okay, that's still
Yeah.
that's nothing to laugh at.
Yeah.
That's 2 decades.
It
It's
would
pretty
be
good.
22, but one of those years was spent in Ventura, California.
Okay, that's
At
fine.
film school.
That's fair enough.
So-
You technically don't need to count that. You could count
Yeah.
that you've lived here the whole time because your parents were still living here. You still had
Sure,
a residence
but I
here.
physically would. No,
Correct.
but my residence
But I
was
appreciate
down in
I
California.
appreciate the truthfulness.
Yeah, I'm just
So
being
Dave-
real clear.
So here's a slight descriptor here,
Okay,
right?
let's go.
21-year resident.
This is an area where a Blockbuster used to be. This is also an area where there has been a Halloween store at one time. This is also an area where there's been something that's been demolished, and this is also an area that is down the street just a little bit from a Fred Meyer. Where is this location?
For Fred Meyer.
I already have it in my head.
No, because I have a different location. It's the Fred Meyer that's specifically, because Fred Meyer takes me to
down the
Overland
street,
or it
down
takes
the
me to
street. I have it in my
Chinden. But for a different Fred Meyer.
Levi, where's this place at?
I could be up on Federal
Corner
Way
of
if he's
Overland and
talking
Orchard.
about Overland?
You're correct.
Yeah, okay. Because there's an Advanced Auto out there, right?
No.
No, because there's a Burger King, there's a Chinese restaurant and other things on Overland out there.
No.
Down Overland,
Yeah.
yes. But we're talking about the intersection of Overland and Orchard. There is a Chinese restaurant. There is not an Advanced Auto.
Oh, no, if you're talking about Overland and Orchard,
That's the corner he's
And now
asking.
there's a Fiesta Chicken out there now.
There
which
is a
didn't used
Fiesta
to be
Chicken
there. Yeah.
in the old Wendy's.
Right, yeah. No, I used to go there when it was
So
Wendy's.
you got that
Anyway,
pretty quick.
Yeah, you got that real quick.
What got you? Was it the Blockbuster?
So the Blockbuster, something that had been built and demolished and was down the street. From
When he said
Fred Meyer.
demolished, though, that's the
I
country
knew exactly.
club
You knew exactly.
theater,
Yeah, as soon
blah,
as you
blah,
said
blah.
it.
Yeah.
No, the theater's still there. This was a grocery.
theater's
this was
destroyed.
No, the theater's still there. There is a
Where the vacuum store is, that theater is just completely a hole in the
that
ground
wasn't
now.
a theater. That was a.
It used to be a
store.
dollar theater. I'd go in
No,
there.
the
Okay.
Dollar Theater
next one,
is
next one,
in the building
next
still.
One, next one. Okay.
It's hidden now behind a Dollar Tree.
Hold on.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, Levi will get this
You know
one
that,
really
that
fast, right?
complex.
This area is on a popular popular crossroad. It was once a place that hosted a department store. It looked like it, right? But is now home next door to a place where children play. Where am I?
So it's an intersection.
So it's a crossroad.
Crossroad.
Just a side. Just
Okay.
instead of going, it's a horizontal road here in Boise.
Yeah.
Very popular.
But then it's a.
There was once maybe a department store. It looks like it was a department store. But may have also been another building at a different time.
Is he talking about the Department of Health and Welfare next to Pojo's?
Dane got
Oh, that's right where I was getting ready
Because
to
all
go.
in my head, I just had the
Dane,
jingle.
that's a
I had
nice
the
one.
jingle for Aspen Sound in my head, and they're
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
pretty.
So that was
that
a mall. That was a shopping mall.
So it was a shopping mall.
Okay.
I know.
At one time, yeah.
And it's a very sad looking place, but
Yes.
it did not age well.
Where
It
children
has,
play the Pojos. Very
Yeah.
nice. That was a good one. See, I like this
I
game.
like
Yeah,
it.
this is a fun game, but it's
Come up
only
with some
fun
of
for
these.
us. I don't think anybody
that was
watching is
great.
having fun.
they don't
Well, no,
live here.
they can come up with spots. They can just Google parts
That's
of Boise.
That's not true. Brett G's having a great time
Okay,
right
Brett
now.
G. One
loving this.
person is
Yeah.
having fun with this.
All right, Philly Walls says, I car wash. I meant to say in the Philippines, not cash wash.
No, that's what we got it. A car wash and boil.
We got what you
Great.
meant.
I was gonna say if you're washing money over there, right?
Yeah,
Just
might
trying
as
to
well.
launder a few things.
Well, when I
it's
saw
okay.
cash wash, I just assumed it was a car wash that only took cash. That's what I thought you meant by cash wash. It seemed reasonable.
Yeah.
Like we don't take cards here.
Yeah.
Only your coins and your dirty money.
Super Otto says he had an idea a while back about a cash wash with brim sandwiches and trout dogs.
Sounds
Trout
delicious.
dogs.
Mark Stone said, "Would Motorplast be all right in the Ultra Sprayer? In the
engine blaster?
No, the applicator. I think the application. sprayer.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
we
you can
find
put Motorplast in
dilute it down probably a little bit. It's pretty liquidy as is, but I'd probably
But it does
dilute
need
it.
water, so add a little water into it and spray it, and then make sure you clean it out because it is an elastomeric product, so
It'll do that to
It'll-
the inside of the
glue it on the
bottle.
inside.
Run some water in a little bit, just a couple tablespoons of
It's a good
IPA
idea
through
though.
it.
Engine covers would definitely
Super Auto.
benefit
Oh,
from
speaking of which, we do have a bunch of FAQs coming out for the Ultra Air tools on how to clean them, how to dilute product in them. So those will all be coming out here within the next week or so. Super Auto 2K says brim on white bread with mustard and hot sauce and trout fillet on a stick. I love trout fillets.
yeah, big fan of
Yeah,
that.
I'm a big fan. I like that.
I do not like trout, period. I've just never liked trout.
What?
I love salmon. I love sushi. I love all kinds of fish. I do not like trout.
What's the reason for the hate, the trout hate?
I don't know. As a kid, I must have had it and thought it tasted weird, and I
It
just
doesn't.
never liked it
It's
since.
a white fish.
Cod is fine because fish and chips cod is fine, but halibut's fine.
Trout is
all
in
stuff.
that
Trout though, I don't know.
same family.
Trout always tasted more fishy to me in a way I didn't like.
It's slightly more gamey, right? But some people think of that as flavor.
No,
and you
I don't
combine
like
that
that
with a little bit of butter, and you combine that with some lemon juice. The lemon juice will cancel out that flavor for you.
No, don't like it.
I could eat a trout.
I say this as someone who has had so many different kinds of fish. I just don't like trout.
Interesting.
Weirdly specific, but I don't.
Okay, all right. Superauto says months. Months with R, and is it regarding oysters? That's what it was.
This is the most unhinged, off the rails.
That's how we do it.
Disconnected, disjointed Q&A we've had in a while.
So it's months with R that you want to avoid oysters, or you want the oysters?
I don't know. I'm allergic to all that stuff, so I don't even waste brain power on it.
Okay.
So.
Dragon with the AK says. My phone, or sorry, any plans on selling, I don't know why I said my phone, any plans on selling these glasses, cloths that come with the orders from TRC? Really love these things and wish I had 100. We actually do sell just
micro suede
that you can just buy and use for glasses cleaning. You can also try to request, an additional one in your order on your notes. We'll usually throw you like an extra one if you request it, but we're not going to throw you.
We don't actually sell them on the site.
We used to,
but
then they got tired of making custom versions for every dentist's office in the country, so they decided we're just not going to sell those individually anymore.
But you can buy at my desk I have 2 of our gray, I think it's a 6x6 gray suede with an overlock stitch. So I have that I'll use to clean my glasses. But you can pick up those. You can even, and like Anthony said, just request.
No lie though, they are fantastic little cloths.
Antoine Armstrong, 17-year-old me. So happy right now. I just bought a 2002 Pontiac Trans Am WS6.
Yes.
The wife is super not excited.
Nice.
Time to spend the weekend getting it detailed.
Does she think you're going to grow a mullet between now and then? Is that it?
That is it. So, the 98, 2002 SS and WS6.
The WS6 is...
Those were...
Yes.
I remember in 97, end of 97, I'm coming up. So when you get on the freeway leaving the mall and you're headed into downtown Boise, you're coming around that curve, right? You're coming around. Okay, you're coming off of Franklin, coming up onto it as you head north into downtown.
Okay.
That on-ramp. I was cruising up in my 73 3/4 ton Chevy pickup. Pair of glass, dual exhaust glass packs.
Oh, yeah.
2.5-inch pipes.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
17 years old.
You're feeling pretty good.
Feeling pretty good.
A ponytail then?
I had a ponytail then.
Yeah.
Listening to a little Danzig in the tape deck. Coming up the hill, and I look. There's a brand new black SS, Camaro SS, sitting there, flying.
Yeah.
And it's going by, and I'm like, that's what 300 horsepower looks like.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that was a huge amount as that age, because that was before. This is the late 90s. They didn't have cars like that.
What year was this?
1997.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this was a 98 SS.
Yep.
It was coming hot in black with the scoop and the T-tops and the exhaust. And I remember going like, oh man, I'd buy one of those. I'd put an SLP exhaust. I'd put an SLP intake. I'd do a bunch of SLP performance parts, even though SLP built those for Chevrolet and Pontiac. I just remember that. But
no, I definitely prefer the Trans Am WSX styling, even though people are like, oh, the Ram Air is like big nostrils and stuff. Something about it is just peak 90s design. Even though it's 02 for this one, it is peak for what it is.
What would it take to get you out of the Flex and get you into WS6?
Well, the whole point of the Flex is that it's my not sports car, so...
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, what is it going to take to get rid of the Jag and get the WS6?
Okay, then I would need to replace the Flex with something kind of ridiculous.
The WS6 you could make into a ridiculous vehicle.
Oh, no. It would be ridiculous. It's just the Jag is a lot.
Dane, what if you had 600 horsepower on a WS6?
I mean, I have 550 all-wheel drive horsepower.
I know, but what if you twin turboed and it was all rear-wheel drive?
Oh, well, then, yeah, that'd be a blast. I remember my XKR definitely was tail happy, so there's that. But I want T-tops. That's why I want the
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He could care less.
Super Auto saying, have you ever all read the comments on the engine bay cleaning vids? People are getting so angry.
There's a lot of people who do not like seeing water blast on an engine.
They
Tom Chicago says, "Happy Friday Eve. Have a great weekend,
buddy.
guys. Glad to see you here in the
Tommy
chat here,
Chicago,
Tom."
what's up, buddy?
Hey.
And then we have Graham Marshall. It says, Minx Royale, small gauntlets, blue FTWs, 16x16 liquidators, and detail factory curveball from clean and shiny this week. One more car show to go this weekend.
Nice.
It's a great lineup
good
there.
group
Love
there,
all
yeah.
those things. Sam Taylor says, can you give a quick breakdown for the Color Lock products, difference between protector and shield and such things? So basically, a quick breakdown. Strong cleaner, right? It's going to be for your strongest leather cleaning. You'll probably dirty jobs. Very rarely will you need strong leather cleaner. It's not a huge seller because there's not too many people that run into situations that mild won't work. So mild is going to be your best starting point there. The Color Lock conditioner is going to be more ideal.
That is your protector.
A Color Lock conditioner is going to be more ideal for leather that's already been used. It's already been kind of broken in. It's something that you just want to keep soft and supple.
Under 2 years, or over 2 years old, I should say.
And whereas your leather that's brand new, that's where you're going to want to coat it with a leather shield because the sealant, because the leather sealant is going to provide some abrasion resistance. And think of it kind of like a ceramic coating.
Not a ceramic, but like bead maker on your paint.
Like bead maker on your paint. So it's going to be more of your sealant style protection, but it does have more abrasion resistance than that of the conditioner. It doesn't feel as supple, in my opinion, as the conditioner does, but I think the point of it is just to keep that leather looking newer for longer, and then once it does get broken in, you would eventually switch to just conditioning.
And you can technically put protector or shield on a new seat, and then you can use protector over shield. It's okay to do that.
You can top it.
You can top it with that because protector does permeate. All the products are permeable, so it can permeate and still take care of the leather. But Lars says there's no need after that for that 1 to 2 years because the leather doesn't need that. It's once you start warming it up and the body oils and perspiration and stuff, that's when you want to start doing that kind of stuff. And then Top Life is their coating. For those wondering. Jamie the Cleaner says, Spicing out. Good afternoon, favorite TRC crew. Just a public announcement. Get Optimum Carpet Clean and Protect. You will not be disappointed. I use it at home and in cars. The best kept secret.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. We just did a video. We were working on a video with it, and we call it Magic in a Bottle because we don't know where the dirt goes.
We really don't. I mean,
it disappears.
It doesn't make any sense. We have Isaiah says hello from Bend, Oregon. Working on a Grand Highlander today.
Oh, newbie.
IGL Kenzo install. I hope you're doing well. Speaking of blockbusters, right?
Yeah,
that's where the last blockbuster
one
is.
Yeah.
Dude, I want. Do you think we should all go together? TRC road trip.
That would be a fun road trip.
Me and all three of us stop at the last blockbuster. We get some T-shirts. We don't really want to have time to rent a movie,
I have
right?
family friends who lived in Bend. Ben's a fantastic little place.
I just want to get there to that last blockbuster and just smell it. Just go, just smell it and just try to like breathe it in, right? And I'm like, sir, what are you doing? I'm like, how can I like encompass this smell into like a cologne? And I could just spray it and create a cologne for you called the last blockbuster.
You could bring a couple like jars, mason jars.
Probably 2/3 of their business now is just tourists, as opposed to people actually wanting to rent a video.
I know, but I just would love to go there. So let us know how it is, Isaiah, if you ever visit it.
Also, what do you think of the Grand Highlander? Just curious.
Super Auto 2K says, back in the day, I've used Mother's Mag and aluminum polish on acrylic.
Nice. Yeah. We all did that back then. Ruddy FF, can you use normal soap or snow foam like G-Wash or W4 after your contact wash with an Ultra Clay scrubber? Yeah, totally. Similar to the rinseless wash, clay, and protect method. Yeah, you totally can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Super Auto with a 5235 popping up there. And then Sam Taylor saying, using Optimum Tire Gel and the new Ultra Air Applicator, how does it perform on trim in your testing? Same. So mix it 50-50 with water. So that's the key. You want to make sure that it works that way. And then you can put it on trim. You can even spray it on an applicator out of the applicator. You can spray it onto an applicator sponge if you want and do it that way. Or you can just hit those areas and then come back and hit them all with the with O&R and wipe all the excess off around the edges. But it works great. It works perfect for trim, plastic trim. For vehicles like, say, my mom's got that Santa Fe. It's got the plastic trim around the edges and all around the back on the lowers. Perfect. You can even spray it on there and let it sit. It works great. So,
right. At the mythical shore, Glenn from behind the screen,
the other
here,
side of the wall here,
says, "I want to issue a formal apology to the audience for resurrecting the chin conversation during the break. It was her fault that Dane got heated again."
To be fair, Gabe actually just asked me what we were fighting about, and then that came up again.
Yeah.
Super Auto 2K says, "Just got a 1500 last week. Washed separately the first time due to the deep red."
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, probably. Or just don't wash it with any white towels.
Easier that way.
And then we got your boy Jake.
Hey.
Your boy Jake says, "If you had to open up a detailing business, what kind of details would you offer? White detail style or more production based?"
Well, it depends on what you're used to, and what you're, most people.
If he's opening up
boutique
a business,
or
so
production.
So let's say you're opening the business. Do you have experience in detailing? If you do, we'll say this. Anthony, let's take Anthony's detail shop. If we were transitioning your home-based business, where you're doing a couple details for select few folks, and that's all you do, right? Would you open that white detail style, or would you open a detail shop that catered to minivans and SUVs and everybody and their dog? Or would you specifically say, look, you can't get in the door without like $1,000 or $900 is $800 is the entry fee to get in? That's the only way I'm working on a car.
It's interesting, right? Because just as who I am as a person and like wanting to maintain like a really clean and like aesthetically driven, business or shop, I would probably want to lean more towards the white detail side of things. But if it actually came down to being, I don't want to say being successful, but making some good money, right? And having consistent money, right? Because that's another big part of it.
Feast or famine.
Is the consistency. Would I would I turn down the more production jobs or the opportunity to have employees and a bigger shop and more opportunity for growth just to stay comfortable with me doing my own white detail style detail? That's a hard question because, again, I naturally gravitate towards me having a clean shop, doing it on my own, but I also know I can't do that for forever, right?
Well, and if you think about it, let's say you did have a shop. You have the overhead of the shop now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're paying the mortgage on the shop.
Yep.
Or the rent.
If you have employees.
If you have employees, but just the overhead on let's say a 2-bay shop right now here in Boise, let's say it's $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? You have to do at least 3 cars to cover that at $1,000 a car, right? Or more.
Yeah.
And pay yourself and buy chemicals and try to get everything that you need all in one step. How do you fill that when you're getting calls from customers that are saying, hey, I want this for this price. And you're like, I'm sorry, I only start at this. Yeah. And they say, no, thanks. That's the hard part. So what I would say is I understand where you're coming from and what you like, but I don't know if it's feasible to be there to start out. So you would always start out with a production-based shop.
Or unless you're doing it in your garage.
Unless you're doing it in your garage and you already have another job. Like Anthony and I have other job. I have another job. We're here. And on the weekends we work. I have 25 years of customers, and I pick and choose the vehicles I want to do. Anthony has his customers, and he picks and chooses the vehicles he wants to do.
You can also graduate, too. So, like, for example, like chromatic auto detailing, right? Or you would see on YouTube. He started out in his garage, right? Or I believe a very small little kind of shop, and started working up to where he was able to build his first shop, right? Correct. Or his shop that he's in right now. And the way he films things and then does things, it definitely gives you the perception that it's a more of a white details, boutique style, high end deal, right, with a bunch of cool cars. So you could always graduate to that and maybe work yourself up into the garage to where you have a consistent amount of income or consistent clients, and you can now account for building a new shop or facility to be able to move into. But to your point there, Levi, was saying go into more production detailing and going into more take on dealerships and things like that. You also have to find a location to do that too.
Yeah.
Right? But the
you got to be able to store cars if you're going to do any of that.
It would be more consistent, right? Because the second you get a dealership as just kind of like side
just to keep the doors
just
open.
to keep the doors open, I mean, you'll keep the doors open.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have work. You'll survive.
Those places are always looking for somebody to do.
Well, and the biggest mistake that some guys make is they'll get into a shop and they'll have a few customers, friends, and family that come to them. That's not sustainable all the time.
No.
You have to advertise, you have to do SEO marketing, you have to do a bunch of stuff that you may not have in the budget. So you go to a dealership and you choose the right dealership and you start doing work, and you might go, shoot, I can grab another dealership. I can get another one. Now I've got guaranteed, I've got 100 cars a month that I can do for $200 or $250 a car. This will work. Sweet. I've got guaranteed income coming in. Then I can take details and pepper in those. The worry, though, is that they always go for the next dealership, the next dealership. And they're not focusing on what they should be focusing, which is the dealership will keep your doors open in the winter months and in the spring. Sure. It'll make it so that you can hire employees to help you wash the cars, prep the cars, detail some things. That's where you have the ability to go, all right, this account covers all my overhead. My rent, my lights, my chemicals, payroll. It covers all of this stuff. All the extra detail stuff I want to do, all the coating jobs, maybe PPF, maybe tint, those cover the gravy. That's my profit. That's where I'm going to make the most money for the business, and it's going to allow me to do the fun stuff. Sure. And maybe you make it so you hire a couple kids that only work on the dealership work while you work on the high-end stuff. There's a ton of different ways to do it. It's just a matter of, it's hard to start out. I see too many guys that start out and go, I'm going straight to white details, and they have no experience in the game.
Or they have zero connections. Like that's something you develop through your details, even if it is production detailing. Somebody in that production detailing may have a connection that you can then leverage into.
And I guarantee you, if you go back to Jim White's stuff from back in the day, 10 years ago, he was doing minivans. He was doing polishing, just basic cars, and then got to a spot and got to a level with his clientele that he could do all the high-end stuff.
And then once he can charge high-ends, they tell other people who have high-ends.
He doesn't, if you guys go to his website, you'll notice he doesn't tell his prices.
No.
And it's all on a consultation, and he spends a lot of time, but that's the way he likes it, because he likes being able to ride his motorcycle, ride his mountain bike, take his ATV out. He wants to be able to still have a life and do stuff, and he only works a certain number of days. And so when he books a car, that's what he's making for that week.
Yeah.
So
true.
All right, sorry. Darren says, the Liquidator has a special place in my heart, but after today, the 1500s had pushed its way in front of my drawing tile lineup. That thing is a beast. Agreed, Darren. Super Auto says, tell Dane to meet you on Peachtree in ATL. Enjoy.
It's probably a very long street.
I was going to say.
Hans, Levi, have you sold the red truck already? I did, Hans. I sold it last Thursday evening.
He was like, dang, I wanted it.
Yeah, I did sell it. I talked about it on Tuesday.
What are import fees?
Thursday night. For those of you that didn't tune in on Tuesday's podcast, Thursday night I got a message from a couple that had previously come the week before and driven the truck. And they said, when can we come pick up the truck? And I was blown away. I sold it for $4,600.
Damn.
And they picked it up, paid cash, and out the door. It was great. So
wonderful.
Jamie the Cleaner says, I can't handle any more hot drops. Apple Pay in Struggle City, and I ain't giving up on the PCLs.
PSL.
Spice.
Good call. I was like, no, PCLs. He said, oh, I got it.
I wanted to see if he'd do it, and he didn't disappoint.
Spice. Joey Belinsky with Levi.
I shop like it's like Apple is doing the pain, so I feel your pain.
Well,
Brionicle says, sounds like Nampa. Daytona Wallace says, is there a serious need for either a high or low pH soap, or will a pH neutral soap do everything that you need? So
there are times.
Most times pH neutral soap and then having an acidic or an alkaline high cleaner will work best, where you just spray like something like Forced. I mean, realistically, you could spray like Forced or Green Star or Multistar or any of those on the surface.
The idea is you're like
Power
shaking
clean.
it loose. First.
You will see a difference foaming a higher pH, a higher alkaline soap.
It's not a placebo.
The cleaning effect is real when doing that. So that or a lower pH soap, the cleaning effect is real as well. So it's not something that's like, okay, this is just a hoax. It does in fact work. It's a matter of whether or not are you already pre-spraying with an APC already? Are you planning on it? Are you not planning on it? Are you going to use a fallout remover? Are you going to use a bug remover? Like if there's other things that you're going to use within that wash, then maybe it's not necessary. Maybe you just need to stick with the pH balance
also
stuff.
knowing our audience and what a mix of home hobbyists versus production detailers we've got in the mix. It's important to note that the question may be coming from a place of, if I am only working on my own cars, do I need that? Probably not, because if you got your own cars and you're hanging out here, chances are you take good care of them. You're on top of it. You're not needing to do that because you don't need those crazy pH soaps if your car is regularly taken care of. It's not going to build up to the level that it would require those. But if you're working in a shop and somebody brings in something that looks like death, then okay,
Well, it's easier to just do that than to actually really get. Sometimes you can. It's just like what we said when you can use like an
work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that and when we say a chemical or a difference between a chemical and a mechanical decon, whether you can just spray an iron remover and remove most of the contamination with just a chemical rather than doing any manual labor by pulling out your clay bar and cleaning it, it's pretty sweet. So same kind of thing with utilizing something like this. It's just there as an extra tool to get the job done faster and quicker and sooner.
Reduce the amount of elbow grease.
Philly Walls
laughing. And then Crisscross here to give a shout out to Aaron. He's a beast at being the best in customer service. Yeah. And says, which Coach products are EU exclusive do you wish you could bring over today, right now?
What's the thing we don't already have that you're just like,
we're getting a lot of stuff. The scents.
Oh, the scents,
yeah.
The scents I'd like the colors. I'd like the soap colors to change the foam
colors.
color.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
I mean, those are honestly
content with. We have
good stuff here.
The line has come a long way over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really been built out to being a pretty comprehensive and pretty big line. So I mean,
if you asked us 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it would be a different story.
Yeah,
We've had
pretty good right
a lot
now.
of the things over that we wanted.
But good question, Crisscross.
Yeah.
Dabbler Details. How does Dane feel about Mike Trout?
Are you talking about Ermin Trout from Breaking Bad?
No, he's talking about Mike Trout, the baseball player.
Oh, see, I don't know baseball
soccer player
names. I know Kazuhiro Sasaki and Ichiro Suzuki.
Do you gents want to turn this Geo game into action-filled video where you'll be searching for some of your stocked products hidden in those spots, like an Easter egg hunt?
That would be pretty crazy.
That would be pretty great. Super Auto says Dane is thinking of trouser trouts.
Yikes.
Daytona Wallace.
I don't like the sound of that.
Should you dry your drying towels, or is it best to let them air dry? That's a really good question too. So, yes. So no. Now, Brett, there is I'm already sorry. Daytona Wallace.
Let me start here.
Should you dry your drying towels, or is it best to let them air dry? So that depends on what you're doing. I would recommend that you air dry your drying towels if you are using them at your home and your dryer has you do a lot of laundry and your dryer has a lot of dryer sheet action, because you're going to get some of that contamination from the dryer because of all the years of dryer sheets that have gone into it. So I would recommend wash your towels, but then just hang dry them. That's what I do, because I know that I've got a waxy buildup. When I feel the inside of my drum, I can feel it. And I don't want that on my drying towels. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anthony, what were you going to say?
Nothing. That's good. Brett G.
Right here with the exact info I wanted.
Brett G. Again, Dane, wrong place.
But correct in what I was thinking
You were correct in the right spot.
Once again.
So, Brett
But
Gates.
I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell where.
So Brett Gates, again,
correct.
a Gates family member of over 675 years here in the Boise Valley, saying, I believe Levi was thinking Overland Park.
He was, because there is a theater over there,
Dane,
too.
Yep, that's correct.
But they're both on Overland.
No, this is corner of Overland and Orchard is Overland Park. Dane was thinking of more east
Overland
of
towards
Overland
Vista and
towards
that kind of
Vista.
Yes.
thinking of the Country Club Plaza Theater
But
by
I
the
was
new
not
Andrades.
joking when I was saying there was a destroyed
the Country
theater.
Club Plaza Theater is definitely destroyed.
You even heard me say
However,
Country Club.
Yeah, but that's not what we were talking, because that is across from the Country Club corner.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The Blockbuster was not there. Video Memories
Video Memories
is in that parking lot. The parking lot in question is where the old Blockbuster that became an Idaho Pizza Company.
Here's the thing. I think the clue Brett
Also,
used to know
former
what I was
Godfather's
talking about.
Pizza.
Brett, was it when I mentioned the vacuum store? Because there's
Yes.
a vacuum store at the front that is that's very prominent.
Oh, Brett.
It's weird that such a thing still exists.
This
but
is
it
good.
does.
I think this is
so
going to be
Brett,
a new thing.
You're very
I like
helpful.
this.
Thank you.
Okay.
I like this. Chris
like
Cross saying,
Chris
what Coach products are you in the proverbial pipeline you're looking forward to? We've got a few that are coming, specifically the new reactive shampoo. It's very nice. Super Auto, Dragon with AK, you can buy the TRC gun cleaning kit, and it has several in it, I believe. There you go.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, we've got a gun cleaning kit on our website for cleaning your firearms. Neil White says, I've eaten oysters year-round. No issues ever.
See, I read something.
happen,
I read.
I guess.
I read
Red
something.
Tide or something?
Right now, I watched a freaking TikTok about oysters, and it.
Oh, well, that's
it-
your problem.
and-
You're getting your
and it-
facts from TikTok.
I know, which I try not to.
People on
but I
TikTok
did.
lie all
I
the
did look it
time.
up.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a particular thing that you can get from eating oysters specifically? It's kind of like it's a bacteria infection, right?
Why would I do that? Why would I
he
eat something that I
definitely
could get a
would not.
bacteria
I know.
infection
He-
from?
he
I
would
can't
not.
remember what it's exactly called, but it's a pretty serious thing. I can put you in the
like
hospital.
a tapeworm.
It's not a tapeworm, but it's something else. But it doesn't come from sushi.
It's a weight loss routine.
Like
Doesn't
sushi
sound
won't
like anything
have
I
this
want.
particular bacteria, but oysters specifically do. I believe
Yeah.
it comes literally from
Yeah, because they live inside
know if it
there.
has to
You're eating
do
something
with-
that lives inside of itself.
I know, I love that about
So
it. The
weird.
flavor of just brews. But I mean, I'm a big oyster guy,
gross.
but I haven't. Actually, yes, I have had it since finding out the information. So I guess the information didn't really
Didn't
affect me
stop you.
negatively.
Yeah.
Didn't stop me. I'm willing to
It's
risk
just TikTok lying
a
to you
bacterial infection for the flavor. Fazal.
Speaking like a true Idaho resident, Dane, look for a steelhead trout. It's not so bad, and the meat looks similar to salmon.
Okay.
There are plenty
I'll
of
give that a
steelhead
shot.
here in Idaho, Dane.
Yeah,
We
well-
named our hockey team after
Well,
them.
yeah, but that's a different kind of steelhead.
No, steelhead
No,
trout.
Steelhead is a trout.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's always
I
been a
thought
trout.
steelhead were salmon.
No,
No, it's
steelhead's a trout.
What? Okay, well, I've never had steelhead.
Joey
so I'm just
Belinsky.
gonna- what?
Joey Belinsky
I'm being
says
gaslit
oysters
again.
are
No, it's
No,
a
it's a
trout.
trout.
Is a steelhead salmon not a thing?
No, it's not
No.
steelhead sim. It's a trout.
I feel like I'm just learning this for the first
All right.
time now. Oh my god, my head's
It's
gonna
it's
explode.
Joey Belinsky.
it's the
Oysters.
oysters effect.
We'll
It's
look
the,
at it up
Wait,
later.
this is Mandela effect.
The Mandela
Yeah.
effect.
Oysters are great on Valentine's Day.
Yes, they are, Joey Belinsky. They're great too, especially if you get them before a vasectomy, because, or I guess maybe after, without planning a
my
vasectomy.
God.
Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up here.
Dane, look for a steelhead trout.
We're on
Again,
page 1.
Dabbler, aside from the
such a
sweet
messed up
ultra
Q&A.
spray applicator, what do you guys use to apply tire dressings? Other than that, applicator sponges. Yeah. Joey Belinsky says 17-year-old Levi was way cooler than 17-year-old Joey.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you
I
me
wish
both,
I had
Joey.
your height at 17.
Well,
That's true.
Neil White, maybe
Got
Dane
that
had a
growth spurt.
few bad Rocky Mountain oysters a time or two.
you know,
Neil
I've
White.
never had one, and I never intend
Really,
to.
as an Eagle resident of almost 21
I
years?
avoided that like the plague.
That's
I
like
don't
a-
want that.
that's
Why
a
would I
delicacy-
voluntarily eat that?
Because
No.
that's the delicacy of Eagle days.
Real
Eagle Fun
oysters
days.
I've had. I dominated an
joke,
entire
is that
plate of
you
them
had
with
to eat
Justin
them to
Lobato.
even
We ate a
buy a
bunch
house
of oysters,
in-
but
An eagle.
In Eagle, you had to eat those. That was like they wouldn't sell you a house
I'm sorry.
if
The
you
goats
they wouldn't let
enjoy
you
that.
stay
It was an
there.
asserting dominance type of thing.
It was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why? Who are you trying to prove it to? There's no point.
That was the joke as kids back in the day when people started buying houses out in Eagle.
Yeah.
Was that's what
You
we
ate
would
Rocky
say?
Mountain
Like,
means
oysters.
Anthony.
like,
Not
oh,
Dane.
did you have to eat your Rocky Mountain oysters to go live out there?
Yeah.
And the kids
I
are like,
remember that joke as
Yeah.
well. Let's see. Joey Belinsky says, bum, 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 bum. I've been to a Rocky Mountain Oyster Festival before.
Yuck indeed. For those who don't know what those
It's called
are,
the Eagle Fun Days.
goat nuts.
Super
It's not
Auto
a
2K.
goat. It's just
It's a mountain goat.
Back in the day, oyster harvesting in the Gulf, in Florida at least, wasn't allowed May through August.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
And then Neil White saying Joey Belinsky,
Yeah.
Dabbler. Also, can we get more towels in purple? It's a great color and it's criminally underrepresented.
Back when the early days were happening, and
We had a few
I was
towels.
responsible for naming my first towel I ever named was a split purple-nality.
And there was Levi's purple towel.
There was also Levi's purple towel, which
a
came
Grimace-
later.
Grimace
and
purple.
Yes, definitely a version. The split purple-nality was like a lighter purple.
It was a lighter purple.
But, oh my goodness, it was such a good towel. And it was called the split purple-nality because I was trying to be clever and it was clunky, but nobody could say it right over the phone. It
But it was a Korean 70-30.
Korean 70-30.
Similar to like a creature.
380-ish GSM,
but
and it had a
380 GSM.
silver satin border, but
a
it
nice
was
towel.
such a good feeling towel. Like, as far as those go, it was among the best. But the reason for the split was because it was a dual pile. So it was
That
different
and
length
the
on
Knight
each
Rider
side.
were identical. They were
And the Knight
twins.
Rider was the same. It was just black
with
and
red.
red instead.
Beautiful towel.
Yeah, love them.
Neil White says, Silverado 2, that's the Gulf. And then he also says, Neil White also says, that long-hailed Jar Jar Binks. I've eaten oysters many times in Savannah, Hilton Head, and Charleston during the summer months. No issues. Interesting. Neil White, are you more of a Tabasco and lemon juice kind of guy, or do you like a traditional oyster, like red sauce? You know, like a, what's that called?
What,
I have
cocktail
no
sauce?
Like a tartar sauce. Yeah, cocktail sauce. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tartar sauce is white. So
Yeah, no,
cocktail
yeah,
sauce
cocktail
would be the red
sauce,
one.
yeah.
No, cocktail shooters were a common thing for us when we were camping by the ocean.
Yeah.
Oyster shooters, cocktail sauce. Yeah.
Super Auto says, all this blockbuster talk, movie gallery was the shizzle.
Yeah.
The company I work for provided the fixture package for every single movie gallery. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's that's
pretty
a
wild.
throwback.
And then Too Fresh Detail Studio says, speaking of running a shop out of your garage, how would you go about getting clients for that? Do people think it's a weird going to a Home Depot shop?
No,
I
you
think
just tell your customer that
I
you
think
do
if
this
they
out of your house.
if they know where they're going, and I think especially if it's a word of mouth situation, right? The customer's already prepared for you for them to show up at your house, and they're cool with it.
Sydney
Especially if your garage looks like a legit shop.
That's
mine
important,
doesn't.
yeah.
Mine looks like a garage.
It
Yours
looks
is
like a garage.
right? I could see how people might be freaked out in that situation, but
Yeah.
if they pull up to Sydney's shop, what are they going to say? Oh,
It looks
cool.
like
Yeah.
any good shop.
It's your
looks.
shop,
Yeah,
right?
They're like, that's a business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely so.
That's also the difference between a business and somebody that's knocking out jobs on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
on the
Super
side.
Auto 2K says, Neil White, no doubt, same, just saying that's where the old school rule of thumb came from. Also, the hotter months are the freshwater oysters spawning season.
Okay.
Interesting. I've
Wow,
learned a
learned
ton
a
about
bunch of stuff.
oysters.
Yeah, this has
There
been
are
a very.
cold-water oyster farms
The
now. and
Q&A's
also-
going the other way today.
Oh, now there's
We're-
non-spawning
we
oysters.
are learning.
Look at that.
Man.
Who would have thought? Non-spawning. Mark Stone, I would love to have WS6 to hang out with my G8. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Super Auto saying spawning oysters can supposedly be flimsy and bitter tasting. Oh. So
as opposed to
basically
the
you
normal
want
taste.
virgin oysters.
Yeah.
Hans Closen, I use pH neutral soaps for weekly or bi-weekly washes on protected cars. I use an alkaline shampoo before I detail car. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb there, Hans. Neil, it depends on the region. The Gulf can get weird with bacteria, etc. And then Super
pretty
Auto
warm
depends on the
there.
region. My youngest son has a 2002 Pontiac Trans Am Firehawk
Yeah,
edition.
the Firehawk.
Nicknamed the Fire Chicken. Those are dope too. I love the
Nice.
Firehawks. And then Neil White, Anthony's eaten plenty of oysters harvested from the Gulf of Boise.
Oh, I haven't, but I probably would. If times
Yeah.
are tough.
And then Demo talking about the Vibrio infection,
Yeah.
norovirus infection, and hepatitis A are what you can get from eating oysters.
I mean, those are pretty gnarly things.
Yeah.
And then
Well-
David Boyce says Vibrio bacteria from raw oysters. Thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Yep. And another
Yeah.
Vibrio.
Yeah.
Vibriosis.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, that's pretty crazy, right? Like, you could just die from eating this oyster, but, like, they're so good that people continue to do it anyways.
The goodness is debatable upon who you ask, but norovirus, you can get that from a cruise ship. Like, that's
Yeah.
what you usually hear when a cruise ship has gone bad. It's like norovirus. on
No, yeah. I think it's I don't know,
Yeah.
potential,
It's bad news.
affecting your nervous system scares me.
Chris Flinger.
Use the sparkling water for maximum suds.
That's a good way to do it.
And then Joey Balenci says, I still have a purple
few purple
Spectrums
spectrums.
from a while back.
Oh, those are some oldies right there.
See, that's what happens, though. It's like we have all the fun colors, and then people don't
Yeah.
buy enough of the other colors, so we just kind of pare it down until it stays with the best sellers.
Yep.
We have spectrums in purple now.
We did. No, we used
did.
to have orange spectrums.
Yeah.
We had purple spectrums. We
variety.
had green
No, those weren't
spectrums.
spectrums, though.
They were.
That was the chameleons.
No, that was
No,
spectrums.
the chameleons were also part of it. but they
Chameleons were
doubled up
two
spectrums.
That's true.
chameleons were two
That's
spectrums
true.
doubled
You're
up.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
in complementary
I took
colors.
it. That's because if you go
Right.
back
what
in
am I
my
thinking?
in my Instagram, I took a
People
picture.
here don't even remember the
I
chameleon.
took a picture of a bunch of chameleons
Yeah.
not chameleons, but a bunch of colored spectrums.
Yeah.
Back in the day, back like 10 years ago.
So you get the full spectrum.
Yeah.
Hence, it was called the Spectrum originally because we had so many colors of it.
Yeah.
David Boyce says the purple towel, call it the Joker. And then we have Joey Belinsky says cocktail sauce is gross.
Yeah,
Neil White says
some the other day with my
Tabasco, horseradish, and lemon are good in oysters. That sounds so good. Minus the sickness.
So then Lakes County says, what do you do to air dry all your towels? So not all my towels, but I have my drying towels. I just hang on the handlebars of my bikes in my garage.
Anyway, you can suspend them without.
You can get a line.
On
yeah,
top
you can
of
get a line.
another
You can if you join our Rag Company discussion group. You see a lot of folks have little laundry hangers and things where they can just set towels and have them out there for that. So
if
that
you
way
go
they can
and
dry
pose
them.
the question in the group, if you go to Facebook, search the Rag Company group, and you'll find it. Pose the question. People will share their examples.
Yeah, they've got lots of
that way
ways
you can
of
get
how
some
they do
fresh
that.
results.
Yep. Cheese Doodle, my car got sprayed by sand today on the highway from a construction truck. I'm so pissed. That's Anthony's fear every day driving to work.
Like I would be so mad. Like
Fresh tar does it too.
No, the sand is the worst because you know it caused some type of chips or pitting. Yeah. So then it's a matter of like hunting it and be like, where
the other day, or not the other day, but the last time we went down to Utah, we were driving and I was coming up and I noticed a cattle truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. And I got away from it as fast as I passed it. And I remember Carly making the remark, like, you didn't have to do that, like, because I floored it to, get around it. And I go, no, you don't understand. Look behind us. And she looked in the rear view, and the car next to it, like that it was behind us that was coming around, getting a full cloud of liquid.
Yeah, no, my dad
truck.
watched just on State Street here. He was driving behind it when he saw a very helpless convertible. Thank God for the owner had their top up at the time. Got butt blasted by a cow.
Yeah, they get they evacuate while they're riding,
good.
And it is
not
terrifying.
Good.
Neil White says, "LOL, the oyster talk is amazing." And then Yurt from Grand F. And then Neil also says, I like my oysters, the G-Technic bug remover. And then Ciprado says, a home milk cocktail sauce is much better. Ketchup, chili, garlic sauce, and horseradish.
Chili, garlic sauce. That sounds
and Grand F saying Yurt.
Again.
Han says the 365 needs more colors. Oh, Grand says, sorry, we went back there.
Oh, yeah.
Missed one. Grant says, what would Levi recommend wet sanding with after a good single stage paint job? Depends on how it looks, but I would always start with just 3,000 to see what I'm hitting, what I'm missing.
Yep, 3,000 and a wool pad and just kind of see what happens.
Work your way down if you need to. Han says the 365 needs more colors.
I mean,
Super Auto, I have several Eagle Edgeless 350 towels in lavender. And then Daniel White, oysters and slop dogs would be a great combo.
I mean, the twist and shout was purple, too, for those who recall.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought Anthony's biggest fear was a trunk rattling Altima behind him with a hooded driver applying dancing.
That was terrifying, and I still think back to that moment of like how careless.
Well, they're busy posting on TikTok while applying chapstick.
No, she was too old for that. She was an older woman. Like I'm telling you, she was older, which was I was like, dang, dude, like that's like a recently divorced woman right there who's just trying to live her best life.
Ultima's run the gamut in terms of representation, I must say.
Yeah.
They really do.
So last game.
Yeah. You have a location for us?
I do have a location for
you.
you.
Boy, here we go.
Yeah, 5 minutes, go.
Bogus Basin Road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't leave many options.
I know. The next to the elementary school, across the street from it. What is it called?
The Bunker.
Oh,
Boise Bunker.
I don't know the name of that place, but I know what you're talking about.
It was a place where people could rent spots out to play music.
Before that, what was it developed as?
It was developed as literally a place in case we were getting bombed.
Yeah, it was a bomb shelter.
Bomb shelter, yeah.
We definitely have a lot of silos here in Idaho. If you
there you
look
go.
around.
Yeah, you can't say bomb on a podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, too late.
All right,
Fallout shelter.
Fallout shelter.
Yes.
All right, Dane, take us home because we're going to end this just a few minutes early.
What a journey this has been. You guys say you want more of the weird, off-kilter Q&As. Well, we just delivered
we have to
you
come up
one.
with really good spots from now on.
Yeah.
Unintentionally delivered you a quality one, but man, that's what happens when I don't promote it. See, if I promote this, I get more people asking real detailing questions, but it seems like you guys are allergic to that. So just
No, we answered lots of them.
We did. We
answered
helped out a
everybody's
lot of
stuff.
folks. But man, it just goes off the rails. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Joey saying thank you for keeping it weird, fellas. I mean, it always can be. I tried to post it, but it won't post if I do it after Glenn closes the comments. So you're stuck without that. Anyway, guys, holy cow. Please hit like on your way out of here. It's the least you can do because you've managed to make it this far, and we really appreciate it. If you do. Of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that as well. And we will see you next week for the Rad Company podcast. Take care. Have a great weekend. We'll talk more then. Let you know how it went.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.